Because food is the biggest problem starting in Desolation Point is the lack of food. Because there's no cattails in Desolation Point. None whatsoever. You're from north central Massachusetts, right on the border of New Hampshire. Nice. All right. Well, boys and girls, today we are going to get back into our Will Eggy McKinsey Jr. file on day 94. We are inside. Oh, we're in Mountain Town. Where the frick are we? I don't even know where we're at. Where are we? Oh, we're in the. Oh, I know where we are. Okay. Good God, I was like, where are we? Where are we? Which is my favorite zone or map. I really like Hush River Valley, to be honest. It's probably one of my favorite zones in the game. I have no water whatsoever. But yes, you're right, Luger. Hush River Valley. It's right up there, my friend. I guess I could harvest this dude and then take his stuff. Oh jeez. Hadrian! Oh man, you didn't have to do that. Hadrian gifts out a tier 1 sub to Legend.
Tier 1 sub to Legend.
Legend.
Have given 78 gift subs in the channel.
Oh, that was too nice of you, Hadrian, to gift it out that sub there. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And by the way, boys and girls, that beautiful human right there will be joining me in about 4 hours. About 4 hours. I do know, Hadrian, that Games Live still plays a bunch of Phasmophobia. I know Cassadar does. I didn't hate the game. I just was kind of meh about the game. It was actually almost more fun for me in Phasmophobia when I died, because then I could just wander around as a ghost. Then I could just wander around as a ghost. I didn't really care. I was like, oh look, there's the ghost over there. He's gonna come kill you. Oh, too low. What? How common is it to encounter wolves in caves? Not super duper common. That sucked. I guess I should have done stuff with it earlier. You were just traumatized from attempting solo play. Oh, hold you? You want to be held? How are you traumatized from solo play? I mean, I guess it could be traumatizing. What happens in solo play if you die? Do you just, like, lose everything? Yeah, there's hardly any caves in the game that have wolves. There's this cave here. There's a cave in Hush River Valley that sometimes has a wolf in it. Where's the other caves, analyst? I know there's like 3 or 4 that could have wolves in them. They don't always have wolves in them, but they could have wolves in them. We're gonna cook up a couple birch bark teas while we're here. We got a lot of birch bark tea. Hold me. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? What? What? You're hunting ghosts in pitch black old houses alone. What happens? Yes. I understand. I understand. That would traumatize me too. I mean, I didn't really like it in a group, Hadrian, so I can't imagine doing it solo. Yeah, that definitely to me is a group game. Not a solo experience game at all. All right. There are 2 live wolves. Yes, there are live wolves around here too. There's a possible there's actually 1, 2 not a cave like this, but there's an outdoor cave on Monolith Lake that possibly has a dead wolf in it. There's several different caves that could have dead wolves in them too. If you didn't enjoy co-op, you'd loathe solo. I enjoy it solo, but my heart can't handle too much of it at a time. Mrs. Honeypot, hello, hello. The thing is, Laura, that the wolves are not always there. So depending on what run you are personally doing, you could or could not experience a wolf. So it's sort of is unique to your specific run. I didn't drop any of that stuff when I slept last night. We'll be back in 4 hours. Ta-ta. Boys and girls, there goes the wonderful Hadrian. He will be joining me in about 4 hours, a little less than 4 hours. About 3 hours and 45 minutes. We're going to be playing some State of Decay 2, Drucker County on sort of a Dread/Nightmare hybrid mix. And it's a pretty new community. We haven't really done a lot with it yet, so very excited to get back into it with Hadrian. It's gonna be fun. You know, Mrs. Honeypot, things are pretty good. Things are pretty good. I've been playing a lot of Icarus lately. Icarus has become like my new sort of mini obsession. I mean, I have my macro obsession, which is always the long dark, but Icarus has become kind of an obsession for me, to be honest. I've been really enjoying the heck out of Icarus, a lot. But yeah, no, everything's going pretty good. Going pretty good. Now this not this weekend, but next weekend, boys and girls, my next 2 weekends are going to be kind of busy. My mom's 79th birthday is coming up, and my brother and I are going to go do something with her on Saturday. I'll probably stream a little bit on Saturday next week, and probably a little bit on Sunday, but my schedule's going to be kind of off, due to my mom's birthday. I'm thinking next Saturday. I think they're coming out about 4 to take my mom out to dinner for her birthday. So I'll probably stream in the morning and afternoon, but then I'll be gone in the evening. I didn't get to wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Well, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you now, Mrs. Honeypot. Hey, you know, I understand, Mrs. Honeypot. Life gets busy, especially around the holidays. Life gets really busy. So, all right, we're gonna go loot up this car here real quick. But it's good to see you again. I hope you and Mr. Honeypot had a great holiday season as well. You know, and it's awesome to have you come by and hang out with us for a little bit. Yeah, you know, that's the thing is I miss people when I don't see them in chat for a while, but at the same time I understand, you know, I understand that I don't take it personally at the same time, because everybody's got stuff that comes up in their life. Heck, I've got stuff that comes up in my life that prevents me from streaming sometimes, so. And you all are very wonderful about that. You're like, oh, don't worry about it. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you when you're on. So, you know, I have to remember that, too. All right. Grab these cattails. I'm not going to take Mr. Bunny Rabbit. Aww, I wonder if you'll let me pet him. Hi, Mr. Bunny.
No power in the verse can stop me.
Aww, he was so sweet. Game mode enabled. How you doing, buddy? I had to look at your name there for a second. It's a long one. Ladies. Game mode enabled. How's it going? Hope you're having a great day. When I, you know, I consciously didn't miss you, but I unconsciously did. Because when I saw you in chat, I was like, oh my god! That's how I know I missed somebody. So I go, oh my god! The 12-year-old girl in me goes, oh my god, she's here again! So yes, I did miss you. I missed everybody. I love seeing One of my biggest joys streaming is when I see somebody come into chat that I haven't seen for a while, and they're like, "Hey, I know, I know I haven't been around much." It's like, oh my god, it's like seeing an old friend again, you know? Like having an old friend come back and visit you. Good lord, I'm very flummy this morning. The weather taking a shift here. I already checked this vehicle, right? Yes, I did. Oh, I was like, what is this? Oh, there's a wolf. Never mind. There's a wolf there. Well, there was a wolf.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
I don't know who killed that wolf, but somebody did. We still need to go back to Hush River Valley, boys and girls. We still need to make one more trip on that. We're gonna go drop off our hide and our guts. We're gonna make our trip back to Hush River Valley, bring back stuff and drop it off as well. We're then gonna make a run through to the plane crash, because we've not been to the plane crash yet. We're gonna make a run to the plane crash, grab our stim there, circle back around through the Hush River or Milton town, and then go from there. There's no doggos. Someone play. Oh, too good for you. Thank you for the ducky hug. I was like, wait a second. There's no dogs. I killed them all. I killed them all. Bulgario, we last Saturday all points were reset, my friend. All points were reset, but hey, there you go. Yes, all points were reset last Saturday. Our festive season was a bit quiet. We had to tone it down because our neighbor tested positive. We both had contact with him, so we had to wait a couple days to take tests. Oh, geez Louise. It's like, you know, Mrs. Honeypot, I always want to be positive, but, you know, that's one time when you want to actually be negative. He's gonna bounce all over the place here. Be a bad move. Actually worked out good for us. All right. You were right. You were right. You were actually right. Yes, you were. All right, let's drop the hide. Oh, by the way, we have our hide box down here. Got a bear hide, 2, 4, 6 deer hides, some guts, some rabbit hides. Got a few things in there. Got a few things in there. Yeah, at least you did. At least you didn't come down. At least you didn't test positive. Like you said, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. So at least you didn't test positive, which is good news. Look at all that birch and maple. Look at all that birch and maple. Oh, I dropped a piece of meat in the middle of it. I dropped my piece of meat, boys and girls. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, that's all right. We just gotta organize the guts here a little bit. So, are they hiding in there? Yes, they are. Got to get the guts down, get them spread out so they'll dry a little faster. That's my head canon, by the way. That's not actual reality. They'll dry just as fast. They'll dry just as fast. In a pile as they will down on the floor like that. I just have my own head canon on it. There we go. Put that there. Don't need that book. I don't need these pots on me for the moment. You're hiding your hides, Garrett. Why can't I put that down there? What in the heck? Oh. I was clicking the wrong button to put it down.
Mark
Wars gifted a tier 1 sub to Gondoman.
Tier 1 sub to Gondomanx.
Oh, well, welcome to the Athpat Gondoman. Mark Wars, thank you for gifting out that tier 1 sub, your 2,217th gift sub in the channel. That's insane. Thank you so much for being so insane. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. As you know, I am slightly insane, so it's all good. It's all good. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to hurt. I'm here to help. Just playing some Long Dark and enjoying the fine show. Aww. Well, guess what? Guess what, Mark Wars? In a little less than 4 hours, that beautiful, lovely Hadrian's going to be joining us. Yes, indeed. Actually, I'm going to move the bear hide back down here because this is where I'm going to drop my. This is where I'm going to drop my my fuel is here. So we're going back to Hush River Valley now to grab the rest of our stuff and things. So we're going to drop off. We're going to drop off our fuel here because we don't need it on us. We have plenty of fuel back in Hush River Valley, trust me. 4 hours, yes, 4 hours. Oh, you're welcome for the warning. You're welcome. I'm just gonna plop that arrowhead in here, plop these feathers in here. I don't think I can put any more cattails in there. No, I cannot. Gosh, I wish there was another bag or container in this place. I guess I can put the cattails back here. I don't really like to do that, but I'll keep 5 on me just for emergency purposes. Gosh, we got hardly any room in there either. That's the one thing this trailer lacks. That is kind of annoying, is that it lacks a lot of space. There's not a lot of containers to store stuff in, which is a little bit, makes me a little bit sad. That's the only thing I wish it has, is more storage, more container storage that you could throw things in. Because really all you have is this, what, 5 kilos in there, 5 kilos in there, and I think 15 in this little box back here. Yeah, so you basically have like 25 kilos of stuff you can store. And the rest of it you just have to pretty much drop on the ground. Quote of waking up. I am waking up right now. I'm still waking up. Don't get me wrong, I'm still waking up.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
Oh my. Indeed. Oh my. But yes, we got a lot planned today, boys and girls. We got Long Dark for the next like 3.5 hours. We got Hadrian joining me at 1 p.m. today to play some State of Decay 2 in Drucker County. We're gonna do that for about 4 hours, maybe a little bit longer. But then we'll also be playing a little bit more Icarus tonight as well. So I got lots of good rest last night, which is the good news. I just kind of rested in bed for a little bit, watched a little tube, and then passed out about 8 or 9 o'clock. So I got a good, like, solid 10-12 hours last night. So got some good rest last night. So I'm feeling good today. Feeling real good today. So we'll be able to rip, rock, and roll around today. We got a good 12 hours of streaming plan today. Got good 12 hours of stream plan today, and another 12 hours of stream tomorrow. We got some Stream Loots Edition Long Dark tomorrow morning. Old Man River chatting about napping. Yep, indeed. We got Stream Loots Edition Long Dark tomorrow morning. We got Escape the Pacific in the afternoon, and a little more Icarus tomorrow evening. So I know there's a common theme going on. Icarus, Icarus, Icarus. I love it. I just can't get enough of it. I've been enjoying the heck out of it so freaking much. I've been really, really, truly enjoying it. Oh wow, got more coal in here too. Wow. So the coal is all respawned inside this cave. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty tight. All right, let's drop the coal and that stuff here. Just because we don't need it where we're going. Perfect. Get our bow out. Do you have sticky toffee pudding? No, I don't even know. What is a sticky toffee pudding? Is Icarus going to be good in the long run if you play solo mostly? Been wanting to get it. Yeah, you know, I've really found Midnight Snack that the game has a lot of playability solo. I was rather dubious about it in the beginning, but the more I've played it, the more I've been like, okay, I can do this solo. Takes a little longer. You got nobody to depend on but yourself, but it takes a little longer, so you can't really do a lot of the really short missions, unless you're really willing to cut corners and not do things. But yeah, I've been very pleased with the solo gameplay, and you know me, Midnight Snack. I don't get excited about games that I can't play solo. I think the solo gameplay is pretty decent. I think it could be improved a little bit, but you know, I always think solo gameplay could be improved. Because most games they put out there these days, they specifically target to multiplayer. That's like their main goal is to get multiplayer action going on. Most game companies don't give a crap mainly about solo play. Because they know multiplayer is where they make some good money. That's where they make the money. It's a dome of sponge with toffee sauce on it. Ooh, that sounds delicious. I want some sticky toffee pudding. That sounds delish. It is slow gameplay if you're solo, Midnight Snack. It is rather slow if you're solo. But honestly, I kind of like it that way. I like it slow, ladies. So yeah, I mean, I actually appreciate the game being a little slower like that. It gives me a chance to actually do some stuff.
Can't feel my feet.
But yeah, the long dark slow gameplay is specifically on purpose. Whereas with Icarus, if you're playing it in a group, you can do things a lot quicker. Whereas if you're playing solo, it is just slower. That's just the way it is. You can do things quicker, but you're cutting corners. Like the last game, I had this nice big house, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'd say if you're on the fence about it, try to pick it up when it's on sale and go from there. This is our cave. This is our moose hide. This is our bear hide and our deer hide, and we got rabbit hides, and we got Chester back here. He's always part of our fun. He's always part of the fun. Hi, buddy. How's it going? I mean, Midnight Snack, I enjoyed the game enough that I went ahead and bought the supporters edition of it, which is more money, but you get like the next two DLCs with the supporters edition. So I was like, I felt that I had enough enjoyment out of Icarus that I'd do it. So You're shaking. I got my hat. I'm a little horny today. Oh, that was when I was playing Valheim. Glad it has the reference in there. Like, I got a hat and I'm a little horny. What? What? That's so weird. I was like confused by that quote for a second. I say we leave this stuff to cure here and we carry a lot of this wood back with us. Or a lot of this coal and stuff. I just want to take a few pieces. I just want to take some fire making stuff back with us. That only puts us at 37. That puts us at 42. That puts us at 43. That puts us at 44. We aren't even overweight at this point. Okay. Never mind. I was thinking, oh, we should probably make 2 trips. No, we can make 1 trip. We do have to sleep here for a little while. You can tell it's going to be one of those streams. I used to play exclusively solo when I was younger. Then I went through a phase where it was all multiplayer games or nothing. I'm circling back to solo games now. Yeah, you know, I think, you know, Midnight, we all do. I mean, see, the reason, I'm not against multiplayer games. Don't get me wrong. I played EverQuest and EverQuest 2. I played those games for 14 years. Those are all multiplayer. You don't play EverQuest and EverQuest 2 if you're against multiplayer. Because that's all multiplayer. But I just kind of got burnt out on it, honestly. I'm just kind of, I mean, but honestly, even when I was playing EverQuest and EverQuest 2, my group usually would be me and maybe one other person or a couple other people. I was never one of those who liked the big raids. The big raids and stuff just never did anything. Just never did anything for me. Oh, multiplayer is great for tabletop stuff. Oh, yeah. But yeah, the big raids I was never a big fan of. It just was too many voices in my head. But the, you know, I usually would either solo in those games, even then, or I would group up with maybe 2 or 3 or 4 other people and have fun. But, yeah, I mean, I just kind of got over my drive to play with other people. Other than to play with y'all. Other than to have you all just hang out and have fun with me. That's always fun. Let's see if there's anything else I could do while I'm waiting for the sun to go down. We'll repair our underwear. But yes, multiplayer is great for tabletop
I'm
stuff.
gonna need to rest soon.
Oh, we have a... Where did I pick up that? Oh, I got that in a truck, I think. Bye-bye. 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 All right, let's repair up our toque. Oh, no, not that. I got ditch that fishing hook so I don't use it. So yeah, I think everybody likes to play some multiplayer, and really, society anymore is kind of grooming people to really want to play multiplayer because it's pushing people more and more towards that all the time, and that's what a lot of the games are coming out with. When I was in college, the LAN parties were the rage. I hated it. Oh god, I remember hearing about LAN parties too, and I was like, that doesn't sound like fun to me. Played New World for over 900 hours, stopped because the only productive things I have left to do all revolve around group activities. People are jerks sometimes. Yeah, sometimes they are. Well, you know, I've been surprised by a lot of people though. Hey, Legacy of the Sith. I've also been disappointed by a lot of people too, so there is that. I've been surprised by a bunch of people and disappointed by a bunch of people. People equal ruin things. Not all the time, but yes, a lot of times. Can't say I disagree with you, Mark Wars. Can't say I disagree with you. But yeah, I mean, most video game companies these days look at the amount of money that a game like GTA 5 makes, or a game like, you know, Red Dead Redemption 2, or any of the other multiplayer, you know, the CSGOs and the games that for some reason people buy skins on. I still don't get that. I will never ever understand the whole skin thing. I just don't get it. I mean, I would never in my life pace. I just don't get it. You know, they look at games like that people spend a lot of money and microtransactions on, and they go, what do they all have in common? They're all multiplayer. They're all games that you play with friends and games that you don't do solo. And so a lot of games have kind of gone away from the solo model in favor of those, which is fine. It'll all come back around. I mean, you know, everything is kind of it kind of goes in cycles, you know. Everything kind of goes in cycles, and I'm sure it'll all come back around again at some point. But right now, that's the rage. I mean, the rage for, like, battle royales is kind of, like, died off. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of people who love it, but you don't hear about it all the time anymore. That's what I mean by the rage. Since starting college, online multiplayer is basically the only opportunity I have to talk with the friends I made in hometown. We're 280 kilometers away from each other. Oh, yeah. I can understand that. That's cool. Yeah, you know, and that's nice, though. I mean, see, that's the thing, is that multiplayer games can help you reconnect with friends that are a long ways away as well, which is good. There's positives and negatives. And honestly, in my opinion, neither is right or wrong. It's just I prefer to play most stuff solo anymore. I went through my multiplayer phase, and that's about it. If a game is free to play, but I can buy skins, I will. If it's a good game, it's a way to support. That's one way I've never thought of looking at it, Milkshake. That's one way I've never thought of looking at it. That's a good point. That's a good point. I feel I play a couple of mobile games, and they're free to play, but every once in a while, I'll just buy something. I'll buy, you know, a boost in the game or something, because I'm like, okay, you know, I'm gonna support the creator and give them a little bit of money. Give them $4 or $4.99 or whatever. So, you know, I get that. I get that. I respect that. I respect that.
So
that does put a different perspective on it. If Hinterland sold a skin, I'd still not buy it. I just don't. I honestly don't get it. I get it for supporting the creator. That's for sure. But no, that is a great idea. Oops. Ganili Ha, I don't know what your message was, but subs are the only ones allowed to post links in chat. So, and you're a first-time chatter, so I'm assuming it may be a bot, but I'm not sure. But once you become unbanned or untimed out, feel free to message in chat and say hi or something. Just not put a link in chat. Thank you very much. Hinterland puts an Ath t-shirt in game and offers it for $1. All proceeds go to Ath. No, I would want all proceeds. If they did that, Mark Wars, I would do it if all proceeds went to them. I would buy it if all proceeds went to Hinterland. Okay, they put an Ath t-shirt in the game. I would buy it. Okay, you got me there. You got me there. Oh yeah. Please don't do that. Please don't put links up in chat like that. Ugh. Please don't do that. How do I frickin'... Okay, never mind. I had to clear chat. Please don't put that link up in chat. Please, no. No. That's why they get timed out. That's why they get timed out. And now I had to clear the chat. Yeah. But see, that's what they want. Too good for you. They want people in chat to post it up if it doesn't get posted. So yeah, those sort of links can either lead to spam. They can lead to links where people can get hacked. They can lead to links. There's all sorts of bad things. They can lead to Turkish porn. There's all sorts of stuff. Yeah, no, that's okay. Too good for you. I was just gonna try to delete your message, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. Usually my mods take care of that for me. Oh no, Master Kano, it's very specific because there was a time for about what brought on me having to make it so only subscribers can post links in chat. There was a stretch of about a month that these bots from Turkey were coming into all sorts of different channels and posting up links to Turkish porn. That's what it was. There was an actual time when that was the thing that was happening for about a month. And I was finally just like, okay, I gotta do something. State of Decay 2 is today, yes. In about just a little over 3 hours. There's a difference between free-to-play games and games you pay for then sell stuff. In my mind, it's one or the other. I support a game by buying it or I buy it buying a small upgrade. There you go. Because yeah, isn't Milkshake isn't like CS:GO? Isn't that one that you have to buy, and then they want you to buy skins inside of it to sell to other people and stuff? All right, Killer Clown, have fun in Icarus, my friend. No, I just didn't want people to click on their link. I hate that. Do you even lift? What? I have no idea what that question's about. I do not lift. Like, lift weights? No, I don't lift weights. MTs will destroy the game. What's a MT? What's a MT? Normally it's phishing links, yeah. Microtransactions. Oh, microtransactions have already... microtransactions suck in the gaming industry. I don't like them. I don't like them. I mean, that's, to me, microtransactions is when EverQuest and EverQuest 2 went off the rails. Because EverQuest and EverQuest 2 used to be subscription-based service, where you pay, you know, you'd have to buy the game, and then to play the game, you would have to pay $15 every month to play the game. And what I found that brought into the game was it brought a level of player who actually gave a crap, and a level of player that actually wanted to be engaged and actually be invested in making the game better. When it went to free to play, it just fell. The community became horrible. It became a horrible community. You know, it became just a bad community, in my opinion. Yeah, membership fees I have no problem with. You're paying for a specific service. I mean, but you know, as EverQuest and EverQuest 2 kind of declined in popularity, I understand why they did it, because at the time they went to free to play, they were bleeding subscribers. They were bleeding subscribers, and they needed to find another way to generate revenue.
Too heavy.
And so they went to free to play. I know this sounds totally counterintuitive, but they went free to play to generate revenue. Because then they could sell you all these different things. They could sell you, you know, buy this boost, or buy this, you know, you can buy a level 90 character. You can buy it like right off the shelf. Instead of having to play for hours and hours and hours to make one, you can just buy it. Yay.
Too much stuff to carry.
Let's make the game hard. The problem with that, though, too, is, you know, most the little dirty secret that most people wouldn't tell is that most of us who've been playing EverQuest and EverQuest 2 for a while, we could tell a bot character in about 5 seconds just by the way they were playing it, and we would just boot him out of the group and not talk, and we would boot him out of the group and basically not talk to him anymore. A lot of times you would see in chat, you would see people advertising that they wanted to group, and they would specifically in chat say things like looking for experienced mage, or looking for experienced healer, and the code word experienced meant that if you haven't been playing your character for a long time, or if you don't know how to play your character, we're gonna boot you out of the group. And that would happen quite often. And I'm not saying everybody who bought a level 90 character didn't know how to play that character. I'm just saying a majority of them did not know how to play their character. I was in a group, I think I told this before on chat, but I was in a group one in EverQuest 2, and I played a Troubadour. Troubadours are a support class. They are not a high DPS class. They're a fun class to play, but they are not high DPS, and they're not meant to be like the highest DPS in a group. I got involved in a group that basically had a wizard, a ranger, a healer, a tank, and me. And the wizard and ranger, those are both high DPS classes. Yet for some reason I was out DPSing them both. The healer, the tank, and me were all like in the same guild, and we had just sort of picked up this ranger and this wizard. And so we soon booted them because they couldn't put out the DPS we wanted. They didn't, and DPS does not just come from button mashing. DPS comes from knowing how to coordinate your attacks to maximum efficiency to get the DPS that you want. If you're just button mashing, you're going to get pretty poor DPS, to be honest. And when a Troubadour is out DPSing DPS classes, they're not playing it right. They don't know how to do what they're doing. I'm just saying. So I was playing an MMO and my guild was disbanded after 2 weeks. Yeah. Free to play and pay to play can coexist. Oh yeah, they totally can. I'm not a total badass nerd. I just, you know, I played a lot of MMOs. It was a huge part of my life for like 14 years. So I played a lot of MMOs and I got used to seeing, and it wasn't like you could like, you know, look at their account and go, oh, you've only owned this account for so long. But you could get a feel, for a character very quickly just off some rather innocuous things. Innocuous? That's a hard word for me. I don't know why. Tried to join 4 guilds. They found out I was a noob and booted me without explanation.
Need to find some place to escape this cold.
That sucks. Well, see, I don't mind people being a noob. We just didn't want people. We didn't want people coming in that hadn't had some experience in their class, basically. But just learning, I love to help people when they're just learning. I'd go and like, oh jeez. I'd go and create a brand new character to help friends that were learning stuff. And that's the thing, is like I would create brand new characters to help my friends learn how to play, like their class. Like if they were trying to learn how to play a tank, I'd go create a new healer class, and then we'd like group up together. And usually I ended up playing a healer or a tank, because those are usually the classes that you can kind of take along with any of the other classes, and you know, or if like they were trying to learn to be a healer, I'd jump on a tank character, low-level tank character and help them sort of grind through those first levels and learn their spells and stuff like that. It was fun. That's why I only had like one. I had one max level character both in EverQuest and EverQuest 2. Is probably half the time I played those games, I was just dinking around with people who were just kind of like, "Oh, I wanna play this kind of character." I'd be like, "Okay, I'll get this out. I'll get a tank out, and we'll go roam around and level up your character. You know, get you through the first like 10 or 15 levels." I loved helping out new characters in those games because they were actually trying to learn the game. See, that was the joy for me, is seeing people like learn and learn their characters, learn how to play them. That was I think the funnest part, because you'd see people almost have those aha moments where they'd be like, "Aha! I think I know what I'm doing." It'd be like so cool. I made some really good friends playing MMOs. I'm still friends with a bunch of them on Facebook and message them every once in a while. I haven't played any MMOs for years, but you know. I think at this point though, you know how some things in life, the memory of them is better than the actual going back and trying to relive the experience again? The memory of it is better than going back and trying to relive it at this point. Most people just troll new players relentlessly. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, is that's the other thing. That's the other thing that's unfortunate with MMOs at this point, is generally MMOs, especially those that have been around for a long time, and even a game like EVE Online or something like that, most of those games that have been around for a long time are basically high-end raiding or PvP combat games now. They don't have, there's not a lot of chance to, there's not a lot of new people that are going to get drawn into the game. Let's just put it that way. Either it's going to be old people coming back, or it's all a certain group of people who are already at the high end that then are going to force people to get high-end characters or buy their way into high-end characters just to play, which is kind of unfortunate. Because for me, as you know, for me, a game is all about the journey. It's not about the destination. The journey is more exciting to me than ever reaching the destination. The destination is almost like going, "Oh, you mean I'm there? Can I go back? You mean I'm there now? I don't want to be there. I want to go do some more stuff." I did quite a bit of solo too in MMOs, Milkshake. I mean, I went and did some fun raids with my guild. I got out of EverQuest right about Planes of Power, which kind of tells you how I got sick of the game real quick there. After Planes of Power came out, I thought Planes of Power kind of ruined the game. So I got out right after Planes of Power. I think actually Gates of Discord had come out, and I kind of got out of it. Were you the kid that loved looking out the window on a car trip? Heck yeah. Yeah, once Gates of Discord came out, I could tell which way the game was going, and I just didn't want to go there anymore. So that's when EverQuest 2 came out. Now EverQuest 2 came out with an interesting premise. In EverQuest 2, when they originally advertised the game, this is back when they were trying to be innovative and not basically bow to the pressure of all the mob. When they actually advertised the game for EverQuest 2, you don't have to play some Civ 6. Woo! Have fun with Civ 6, my friend. They actually advertised EverQuest 2 as a game where you can go adventure, and we're also going to create this entire crafting guild thing. By the way, this is where the stim is at all times in this zone. They actually advertised, and I was super excited because I love crafting in EverQuest 1. I was actually one of the top crafters of spells on my server until they basically forked us all by offering all the spells for sale in Plains of Power and Plains of Tranquility. So they forked over the entire economy, which was great. It's like, okay, well, you basically made me never want to play your game again. I wasn't bitter about it though or anything. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So it was really cool though because EverQuest 2 was like, you can go adventure, you can be an adventurer, but you can also be a merchant class, and you can actually craft things, be involved in a immersive, interactive crafting guild where you have to deal with other crafters to get the things you want. And it was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, dang, that's awesome. I want to try that out. And, you know, I'll probably still adventure a little bit, but I mainly want to be a crafter. And when EverQuest 2 launched, it was awesome. It was awesome. They had these crafting guilds that you could join, and as you gained favor with the crafting guilds by doing different tasks, you unlocked more crafting recipes, or not crafting recipes, but you unlocked more stuff on the vendors, and then you could go and sell stuff in the bazaar that you made. But the cool thing about the crafting was that it was not a solo activity. You actually had to like craft that you actually had to get things. Like I wanted to be a spell crafter, but other than real basic quills and real basic paper, if I wanted to get the good paper to make good spells, I would have to go and bargain with one of the other crafters who was a paper maker or a quill maker and actually get the stuff from them, which was actually kind of fun because you actually started getting kind of that relationship thing going again. And then all the high level adventurers all banded together and complained, hey, we got a Polaroid, that they couldn't craft stuff. Boo-hoo, nobody would take them into their crafting guild and let them just craft stuff and get stuff for free, that they had to buy it for very expensive prices on the market. And it's like, well, yeah, that's because you're not spending any time doing it, jackwagon. And so EverQuest basically changed their entire thing, made crafting dull and boring, made it so pretty much anybody can craft anything, and yeah. So again, they basically bowed to the pressure of the high-level raiders and the loudest voices and just went... MMOs are difficult to kick out of your life. You'll always find yourself returning. Oh yeah, totally. Have I ever been down to the Hidden Valley there? No, I've not been down to the Hidden Valley.
Thank goodness for that.
Vindictus. I don't. What is Vindictus? I've heard. It sounds familiar. It sounds familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. I had 100 worth of materials in my inventory. I was waiting for a good opportunity to make most of them. And then the developers made them totally worthless. Yeah, I know, Leon Hardley. Yeah, they basically the way they handled the switch over from crafting to that, it was just ridiculous. It pissed so many people off. There were people that left the game and never came back. I had friends in the crafting guild I was in that left the game and never came back because they basically just took away everything that they promised, and we're just like, okay, whatever. The cool thing back then too, see the cool part of EverQuest 2 at that point as well, is that early on. So like, when you first started playing EverQuest 2, you'd choose what general class you wanted to be. Fighter, mage, healer, or like a support or rogue class. And for the first 10 levels, everybody used the same exact spells or abilities for the first 10 levels of that. And once you reach level 10, you then had to decide your subclass. Like if you were a fighter, you would then go and you would split off into either like, I believe it was like a guardian or some other kind of fighter. And then once you hit level 20, you had to split again. And so like the guardian could go into either like paladin or dread knight. Or what was it, Dread Knight? No, God, it's been so long. But I never played fighters anyway. But you basically, at every 10 levels up to level 20, you would split and go into a different, you would have to pick and go to a different place. Now, a lot of people didn't like that because they'd be like, well, I started playing this way, but now I want to, I really want to just do this. And so they basically dumbed it all down again, and you choose your class from the very beginning of the game. And it was cool too, and all fighters, basically they made it so there's only like 4 different types of fighters, so there's only 4 different types of spells. The level 1 through 20 spells used to sell, or the level 1 through 20 abilities would sell really well on the market because everybody used them. Well, everybody used the level 1 through 10s. 1 through 10s, everybody used. If you were playing a mage class, everybody used the same spells. If you were playing a cleric class, everybody used the same spells. But then once you hit level 10, then it split off, so you'd have, basically you'd have different spells, and then when you hit 20, it split off again. Yeah, and so it actually made spellcrafting kind of interesting because you had all these different specialities. Well, they just did away with all that, and they just went, yeah, we aren't doing that anymore. We've received too much flack, too much community response saying they don't want that. It's like, no, it's the high end guys that just want to have an easy path to the high level. You played a warden, yeah, the druid ones. That was one you could split off to, was druids. Yep. Oh, we actually got the combat pants here this time. I didn't expect that.
I need to drop something.
Yeah, games have just got, they got simplified. Yeah. They got simplified. And they have been simplified for the younger now generation. The generation that just wants everything handed to them, it seems like. And not all of them. Not all of them. I'm not going to classify it as all of them. But a large portion of the generation that seems to want to have things just handed to them right off the bat without having to work for it. And if they don't get it, they whine and cry and complain on social media until they do. That was the joy of the original EverQuest. That was the joy of the original EverQuest, is you did get you never got things handed off to you very quickly. Levels were very hard. God, I played EverQuest back when they had, so if you died in the original EverQuest, you would actually lose XP. I don't know how many times in my playing of EverQuest 1, I actually would unlevel. I would level, and then I would die, and I would lose my level, and I would have to grind back up to get my level again. And there were actual hell levels in EverQuest 1, where it cost like twice the XP that it would usually cost to get to the next level. And that's back also when in EverQuest 1 you only got spells every 4 levels. So at the beginning of it you would be very strong. So say you hit level 8, you'd be really super strong. But when you reach to the end of level 11 to kill mobs, it would be really hard because you're still using your level 8 spells, even though you're using them at a level 11 level. You don't have your next set of spells yet, which are your upgrades. And so you'd always start out like level 8 and 9 would be like, damn, I'm just mashing through these guys. You get to level 10 and 11, approaching your next level, and you would actually start to feel kind of underpowered because your spells are from 4 levels ago almost. Which I thought was really a cool... Now you get a new spell every level, so it's like, oh yay, new level, I get a new spell. But your first game was Ultima Online. It had permadeath, and people could loot your corpse. That was hardcore. That is hardcore. That is hardcore. Well, and in EverQuest 1, in EverQuest originally, when you died, you had to go back and loot your corpse wherever it was. Wherever your corpse was. If it was in the bottom of a dungeon, sitting by the foot of a boss mob, that's where you had to go to get your corpse. Made Necromancer's really valuable, though. I played a Necromancer. So Made Necromancer's really valuable because you could just summon people's corpses to you if they were grouped with you. So you could get people to pay you a lot of money for that. You loved Ultima Online, missed the game, except for the griefers that would show up and kill everyone in the entire radius of the back. Oh, that sucks. All right, Miss Honeypot, bye-bye, bye-bye. It was permadeath, but they could loot your stuff. Sorry, still on first coffee. It wasn't permadeath. Wasn't permadeath, but they could still loot your stuff. How you doing, Drunken Monkey, by the way? How you doing, buddy? Hello, my friend. Hope you're having an awesome day. Reason your tattoo off. Ooh, your tattoo. Did you post a picture? Is it a new tattoo? Is it a new tattoo? If it is, I hope you posted it up on. The Discord. Scratching. This is Milton. We are at the plane crash right now. We came down to the plane crash to get our 5th stem. We came here to get our 5th stem, so that's why we're here. And then we're going to be heading into Milton itself. I'm good. It was a rough week. No, not tattoo. Tutu. Oh, Tutu. I read that completely wrong. I read that completely. I was thinking tattoo. I was thinking like a tattoo, like you got a tattoo. I was like, damn, that's you're tough bananas there, man. You're tough stuff. I can't even look at a tattoo and be like, I want to get that on my body. I know some people love it.
I wonder if I can.
I don't like pain, and I don't like the idea of needles going on my body. Plus, I don't like the idea of something that I'll never be able to get rid of. Well, I guess you can get rid of it, but I hear it's more painful to get rid of a tattoo than it is to get one. And I don't really love anything enough to put it on my body. I don't love it. I've racked my brain and gone, do I love anything enough to put it on my body forever? Forever. So when I'm wrinkly and old, it'll be like hanging off my body. I don't want to. And if you do, that's great. Hey, it's your body. You do what you want. But I just for myself was like, no, I don't think so. My friend, she loves tattoos. She loves her tattoos. Actually, it's funny. My friend actually is somebody who, I'm going to be doing stream loots tomorrow. Too good for you. Same time as right now. Same time as right now. My friend loves tattoos, but she seriously hates a couple of her tattoos. And I'm like, do I want something on my body that every time I look at it, I go, ugh. You have barely even played a game this week. It's been kicking your butt. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Drunken Monkey. You don't like needles either, though, Joshua. Yeah, I'm not a big needle person. But yes, tomorrow is stream loots. Too good for you. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. We'll be starting up stream loots tomorrow morning. We'll be doing that till about 1, then switching over to Escape the Pacific for the next 4 hours, and then the 4 hours after that, we'll spend in a little bit of Icarus as well. Today, we got Long Dark going on right now. We got our 90, let's see, what I'm going to give, since we got some scratch-ins here, we're going to give them a little update. So we're on day 98. We're almost at day 100. We've got Carcass Harvesting, Cooking, and Archery all to 5. Fire Starting is almost to 4. Mending is 2/3 of the way into 3. We've been all through Hush River Valley. We've got a lot of good clothing on us. I actually have another pair of combat pants, which I'll probably wreck. But we got all of our skin clothing we want. We got our double underwear, double socks, double thin wool sweaters. We got our moose-hide satchel and our crampons. We're rocking a 25-degree warmth bonus and a 10-degree windproof bonus. And so we're doing pretty good. We got bows and arrows. We got stems. We're pretty well set. So yeah, it's going good. It's going good. We're rocking it. A little foggy out today. It's not bad. Getting ready for a winter storm tonight, maybe into Monday. Ooh. Ooh, you don't want snow. Yeah, I don't want snow either, my friend. But yeah, we're doing pretty good. Oh, excuse me. I don't know where that came from. Hey, look, there's our buddy. He was eating a rabbit. We stole that rabbit from him. Do I still have that rabbit meat on me, or did I cook it? Oh, I cooked it and ate it, right? Okay, I did cook it and eat it. But did I have that? Oh, hello, Mr. Rabbits. Run, Bannies, run! So how have you been feeling? Haven't been. It feels like I haven't been here in ages. You know, I've been good. I've been good, Drunken Monkey. We've been having a lot of fun with Icarus. I will admit. Icarus has sort of become my new little scratch that I itch. Like scratching. I've been scratching that itch a lot lately. But I've been really enjoying Icarus a lot. We got done with the payday extraction mission. It got us a lot of exotics, which is awesome. Now we're doing we're on another mission now. So yeah, I've been really having a good time with it though. Is that the last torch I got? That's the last torch I got. We should go down here to the right and get a little bit of fuel and make a little fire and grab some torches out of it. I do not want to try to light it. You always want to try to light a fire with a torch. Until you reach fire making 5, if you can't make a mag lens fire, and you have to make a fire with a match, you want to light the torch first, then make the fire. I'm so far behind. I started Osiris New Dawn, then with work just took some time down for TV. Oh yeah, I get that, Drunken Monkey. Thank you for following there, Scratchin'. I really appreciate that very, very much. This is actually a good little ditch cave if you want to ditch in here. It takes quite a bit for the fire to get blown out in this place. Because you can build this right behind this little rock wall here, which and you're pretty much surrounded on all the other sides. I'm not saying this cave is 100% safe. You don't want to build a fire in here for long term, but you can build a little bit of a fire in here. Because see, if you build it right there, really the only wind that could hit it is one that's coming directly from... Oh, wait. I had it blown out in there once. Oh, yeah, I guess it could kind of come from this direction here. Because it's protected on all the sides otherwise, except for, like, one little pixel where it's not protected. This is not a warm cave, though. So, if you're going to make a fire here, you better make sure it's warm enough for you to sleep. Because it doesn't have a back area that's warm in it. Can fire in the game asphyxiate you from smoke? No. No, they cannot. Otherwise, we'd be dead already because we would have asphyxiated from smoke in, like, Grey Mother's house or something. Actually, Grey Mother's has a spot in it that you can't get asphyxiated. It's got a chimney, so I guess you can't get asphyxiated there. Now, the one upside of this fire is it's an outdoor fire. So you see how we went to sleep for an hour with an hour and 12 minutes on the fire. When we get up, we still have 41 minutes on the fire. So we had an hour and 12 minutes, and it only took away, what, 30 minutes for an hour's worth of sleep? That's pretty dang good. I'm gonna grab these sticks out here real quick. So this little path here used to take you over to the bridge that has the bear on it. It now dead ends. When they revamped the zone, they left this little area. It used to go straight through. I don't know why they stopped it from going straight through. It seemed to make no sense to me. Can you actually get up over? Wait, can I get up there? Or will it let me? Or does it stop me? Yeah, it stops me. See, they put a block in here, so you can't even get by it. You can get up here, but you can't get past it. But it used to be that you could go straight over to where the bridge, where the bear spawns from that spot. Not anymore. Which I think is kind of sad. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the Milton remake. I'm not gonna lie. There used to, I thought but then again, you know, I'm one of those old fuddy-duddies who just wants, I want things the way that they were. Damn it. Stop changing stuff. I understand why they did it, because it used to be that the path to the plane crash only went through the cave. There used to be no walking there from the farmhouse. From the farmhouse, you could walk up, you could go down to the bridge that had the bear on it, and you had to go through the cave. But they switched that up quite a long time ago. And then they put all this stuff, they put this whole thing in here. Just kind of like, meh. Meh. Let's get ourselves a deer. Boom. We got ourselves a deer, boys and girls. Deer's back on the menu, boys. Don't worry, Mr. Bunnies. I'm not gonna kill you. It's gonna be fine. Didn't even use Deadeye. I fired the bow so many times in this game that it's not. Believe me, believe me, it's not as easy as it looks. For every shot I make like that, I've missed 1,000 times. And just adjusted and figured out a better angle. And you know, that's the thing. It's like that's why I always tell people, you want to take lots of shots at rabbits. You want to take lots of shots at rabbits, because if you can hit a rabbit from a distance, and you can figure out how to hit a rabbit from a distance, hitting a deer is 1,000 times easier because he's a bigger target. If you can take that long shot at the rabbit like that one over there. See, I missed him. And so that's why you do it. I knew I told the rabbits they were safe, but they weren't actually safe. But that's why you take lots of shots at rabbits from a distance. So you can figure out how the bow drops and how it works. I shouldn't have killed that rabbit. I have archery 5.
Atheenon, you said you weren't gonna hit us. You said you weren't gonna shoot us, and you shot us anyway. You're a lying bastard. You're a lying bastard, and you just need to go jump into a wolf. Go jump into a wolf's mouth. See how you like it.
I can barely walk with this much
Well, he's talkity there.
You said it was duck season.
I didn't claim it was anything season. It's the wolf deer yin yang. It's the wolf deer yin yang, boys and girls. It's very exciting. It's all the rage. It's what all the kids are talking about. Yeah, but I didn't promise it was duck season. I just said it was duck season. That doesn't mean I can't eat something from the other seasons. I don't think I can get a Maglens fire going, but we'll give it a shot. No. Should have ducked then. Heyo! Let's get a little fire started. Harvest this deer and this rabbit up. There's a cave right around the corner over this direction. And we can go chill in for a minute. Well,
thank goodness for that.
thank goodness for that. We'll throw one piece of coal on there. Hey, King Daka, how you doing? Hello, hello. Can you explain to me what the best way to handle Timberwolves is? Don't go there. No, the best way to handle Timberwolves, King Daka, is don't travel if the weather's bad. And if you're gonna travel, always carry a torch on you or a flare. Torch is preferable because it doesn't run out as fast as the flare does. The moment you see or hear Timberwolves,
So hungry in my life.
you drop and make a fire, and then you just plink arrows at them. They'll charge the fire, but they won't actually like hit you. They'll run away. They'll get scared and run. And in that moment that they get scared or run, you take a shot at them and hope you hit them. They'll probably, to be honest, they'll probably run away with your arrows, which sucks. So if you're gonna go to a zone that has a lot of Timberwolves, if you're gonna go to Blackrock or Bleak Inlet, you want to at least take 20 to 30 arrows minimum with you, because you're most likely going to lose half of them to Timberwolves running away with them stuck in them. And when the Timberwolves have an arrow stuck in them, they run for a long, long distance. And you can't just chase right after them, because even when it's running away, you still have 3 more Timberwolves to deal with. My best advice is just avoid them altogether. Don't go to those zones. There's nothing there on Interloper that's worth it. That's worth the headache. Yeah, but you can. The easiest way is to build a fire, stand behind that fire, and just do that. You can throw torches at them, but unless you hit them with the torch, you're gonna get nipped and nipped and nipped and nipped and nipped. They don't the torch. How do I put this? The torch sometimes works. Let's just put it that way. The torch sometimes works. Other times, not so much. Yeah, I'm watching that. I'm watching that. Thank you, ZZ, though. I still have 263 calories. To fast cook this would probably be bad. I was hoping that I could get that cooked before eating a cattail, but we'll do it. The torch sometimes works. It depends though, because see, the Timberwolves come at all different angles, and if they don't see the torch, they will hit you and attack you. Does that make sense? A fire is more of a larger target that they'll always see, whereas a torch dropped on the ground, if there's a small depression, or say you drop the torch behind this, the wolf coming from that direction is going to see it. The wolf coming from this direction will not. If that makes sense. So if you're going to use a torch, I would recommend getting into a very flat place where there's nothing around that can block the view of the torch. And then utilize the torch from there. I mean, the fire technically can be blocked as well. The fire can be blocked as well, so even if fire is not 100%. I just don't... The Timberwolves are just such a pain in the butt. Especially since they're bugged half the time. I mean, they're not as bad as it used to be. I remember when Timberwolves first came out, that one would nip at you, and it would freeze your screen for like a second and a half. Because you'd get that damage save. It would save the game because you took damage, and the game would glitch out for like a second and a half, and it would be frozen, and you'd come back and there'd be another one right there. The game would still be going, just you wouldn't have any access to it because it was saving. And then you'd come back and there'd be another wolf and you couldn't react to him because he was on you too quick. That was a royal pain in the butt.
I can always use more food.
We can always use more food. So the Timberwolves are way less annoying than they used to be, but they're still a pain in the butt. They're still annoying. They're still an abomination, let's just put it that way. Timberwolves are still an abomination. Never liked them, never will. Generally on Interloper 2, the biggest thing also is on Interloper, I have yet to see anything in those zones that I want to risk all of my stuff on. That I want to risk it to go there. I generally have not seen anything that exciting there. Now, if they had put something like, and honestly, I saw the tactical vest. It's not that exciting. It's not. If I'm that fearful of getting hit by wolves and bears and moose, I probably shouldn't be hunting them in the first place. If I'm expecting them to hit me, I probably shouldn't be hunting them anyway. I should just be like, nah, I'm not gonna hunt them. There are ways to do it. There are ways to do it. It's a lot of work. It's just a lot of work. But hey, it's a fun place to go late game. My goal is to head back to Ash Canyon with more stuff this time. You definitely want to take a lot of bandages with you. You want to take a lot of arrows with you. You want to take a bunch of hides. You want to take a bunch of cloth, because the Timberwolves will most likely attack you at some point. Most likely you're going to get attacked at some point.
Feels like a lot of gear.
Yeah, say hi to Gameslift for me as well, Drunken Monkey. So you need to go into it with a certain mindset of, I need to be prepared. I need to be prepared both mentally and physically for all that I'm going to encounter there. Jeez Louise, I tell you, man. Dang wind. We'll try to nurse the fire, boys and girls. So see, we got the fire down to 3 minutes. If I can throw a stick on it. There we go. Now it'll probably blow my fire back down, but that's okay. Actually, it didn't blow my fire back down. Nice. We are going to throw a lot of stuff on it. What's the goal of Ash Canyon? The goal of Ash Canyon... Okay, these are all small pieces. I want the large piece. If I can get this... There we go. The goal of Ash Canyon is to get the technical backpack and get the crampons. You also can find a pair of... you can also find a pair of combat pants in Ash Canyon. You can find a stim in Ash Canyon. Millers! Hello, hello. I saw Cassandra come in earlier. Hi, Cassandra. Hi, Nathan. And then I got talking about stuff. Hi, both of you. I can't wait for Hadrian to join us in less than 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. Oh, why am I going back to Ash Canyon? Oh, I'm not going to go back to Ash Canyon. I want to go to Blackrock. Sorry, Blackrock Prison. I want to go back to Blackrock at some point in this run, just because. I'm sorry, not Ash Canyon. I already got everything from Ash Canyon. I don't need anything there. Okay, ta-ta for now. Have a good lurk, Mrs. Honeypot. Mwah. Much love. Mwah. Mwah. But yeah, there's not much there to make it worth the Timberwolves, to be honest. There is not. Not in my opinion, anyway. Oh, it blew my fire down again. We'll summon a lich. Where do you get the crampons from? You get the crampons, and you get the technical backpack in Ash Canyon. You get them at the gold mine, which is quite a journey from the if you're going in through the Echo Cavern or the Echo Ravine. You have to wind your way over to the Angler's Den. You have to basically go across a bunch of ice to a fishing hut. Then you have to go up a little path and go across more ice and snow to the Angler's Den. Then you have to go up behind a waterfall, past a bunch of wolves, into a cave, go through the cave, climb across several rope bridges, go across Wolfjaw Overlook, get past there, go down a rope, and then into the gold mine to get to where you get the backpack and the the crampons. It's quite the journey. Quite the journey. I know you guys are moving soon. You guys, yes, I heard about that, Millers. I think I asked Nate the other night. I was like, "Are you excited?" He's like, "No." Oh, jeez. Jolly Doodle with the 100 bits. Thank you for the 100 bits there, my friend. I know moving can sometimes be a little less than exciting. I know the feeling.
This gear's starting to slow me down.
Yes, it is. Oh, actually, let's just drop. Well, howdy, Jolly Doodle. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for the 100 bits again. I really do appreciate that. Yes, we're going to have zombie shenanigans in about 2.5 hours, boys and girls. The wonderful, illustrious, smooth voice, sexy YouTube man, Hadrian's going to be joining me. And we're going to be playing some State of Decay 2. And zombie shenanigans will occur. I'm pretty excited about it, though. It's going to be fun. There's a tower. This is the cave I was telling you about. Miller's told you there's going to be zombos today. Yes, there are. Yes, there are, Jolly Doodle. There's going to be some zombies today. Yay! Look, it's a new location, and it's called Cave. Jazz finger. Spirit fingers. Jazz hands. Spirit fingers for the jazz cave. It's called a cave. The cave, boys and girls. And you know what happens in the cave stays in the cave. Alright, let's drop the drop all that stuff. I'm also gonna drop this rabbit back here too. Alright. Let's go out here. Miller hype! I love that. What's your opinion of State of Decay 2? I couldn't get into it about 6 months ago. Well, Jira, I've actually found State of Decay 2 works a little bit better when you're playing it with other people. Like a lot of survival games out there, or pseudo survival games, State of Decay 2 works better when you're playing with someone else. At least one other person, if not a couple people. It's not, in my opinion, it's not a great solo game. It doesn't have, the mechanics of it are a little bit hard to play solo. It's a lot better in a group.
Bag is getting too heavy to
coordinated situation. I'm still too heavy? Oh god, I have all these torches and oil and stuff on me. Okay, well, let's break down a few things. But it is a lot of fun to play with at least one other person, maybe 2 other people. I know I want CX Miller to play it with me, but adulting is hard. Yes, it is. Adulting's very difficult.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is your characters get tired very quickly, and you have to keep swapping them out all the time. I mean, my characters get tired, don't get me wrong, but with Hadrian there to help share the load, they don't get as tired as quickly, because we're both kind of doing things. We're both running around and killing Z's and doing stuff and things. But overall, I think State of Decay 2 does a really good job. It's got a cool story to it. It's got good action. And game goes faster, upgrades come quicker with more people. Yeah, I can see that. just kind of letting the fire burn down. No, we're in no rush. We're doing a little maintenance. That's gonna take 10 minutes though. I was just doing a few things that I could do very quickly. Breaking down clothing and such. Plus, the way that the co-op works in State of Decay 2 is kind of unique. Because your run is your run. Your community is your community. Anybody that comes and helps you, they're playing in your community. Then they go back and they go to their own community. They get rewards for helping out your community, and they also get loot in the game when they're playing with you, but they aren't, if they never come back to your community is the same as it always has been. They're just basically helping you out. Which I think is a very good way of doing it. Unlike say, Icarus prospects. Not that I don't like this about Icarus, but a prospect in Icarus, unless everybody who is involved in the prospect finishes with the leader or the person who's hosting it, if they leave the game early, they don't get any rewards. They have to stay to the end, and they have to leave the planet, and then the host has to leave the planet for everybody to get rewards. In State of Decay 2, Hadrian could jump into my game for 2 hours and then take off and leave, and I could still keep playing, and he'd get some rewards for it. He'd get some loot, he gets a little XP, he gets, I think if you do it often enough, you get like little loot crates from the game as well, that give him some cool little stuff. So it's kind of the multiplayer is actually really kind of well done, I think, as far as making it equitable for everybody to get something out of it, even if they're not hosting the community. But it definitely I'll go back to it. The game definitely is more geared towards group play than playing by yourself. And that's not a bash against the game. It's just in my opinion, it's more fun to play in a group than to play solo. State of Decay 2. State of Decay 2 is what we're talking about. It's more fun to play that game with a partner, at least a partner, maybe a couple other people, than it is to play solo. But how you doing, Mortys? How you doing? We'll give out some first-time chatter points. We'll try to be gentle with you, okay? Try to be gentle. But yeah, I'm going to be playing some State of Decay 2 with Hadrian later on today. And I'm very much looking forward to it.
Kind of thirsty.
102 viewer hype. Yes, we're in Milton. We started in Blackrock prison. We're almost 100 days in. This is our start that we had in Blackrock prison. That's how I refer to the file, because it's our Blackrock prison start. We spent our first 4 days in Blackrock getting out of there. We went into Timberwolf Mountain. We then went into Pleasant Valley and looted up a few things. Went down to the farmhouse. Came back up into Timberwolf Mountain. We then went into Ash Canyon. And on day 18, we got to the gold mine, got our backpack and crampons. You must also remember at this point, we have no backpack. We then went on into Timberwolf Mountain and got to the summit on day 20, again, with no bedroll at all. Not backpack, with no bedroll. We then found a bedroll, I believe, in, what was it? We found it in Winding River. We found it on Winding River on day 26. We found it in Winding River on day 26. And then we went and made a forge run. We made a forge run on day 33. That's when we made our forge run. We then went back to Mystery Lake, crafted up our stuff. We spent a lot of time We spent a lot of time there in the upper dam crafting stuff. We made some pants and boots and stuff. Then we went to the ravine to get rid of cabin fever, which we needed to do. And then we came out of Mystery Lake. We went all the way around Mystery Lake for many, many, many days. We got our moose. We got our 2 bears. We then made up our moose hide satchel. We then came over into Mountain Town on day... day 64. Day 64, we went all around on Mountain Town. Had a lot of fun in Mountain Town, but then we went to Hush River Valley to hunt more moose. And we spent a long period of time in Hush River Valley, one of my favorite zones in the game. And then we came back to Mountain Town, and we've been here ever since. Rip Eggy Sr. Rip Eggy Sr. Do you have a strat for the mine or just avoid it? The strat for the mine, which I didn't know about first off, Millers, is the mine and going through the gas does not lead you anywhere. All it is a giant circle that takes you back to where you started. If you're going to go into the mine, it doesn't go anywhere. If you're going to go to the mine, strip off everything you want, leave it all at the entrance, because you're going to come right back there anyway. I didn't know that. So that's the only thing. I watched it all on YouTube. The only thing with YouTube, you're still watching that I'm watching you there on day 72. Yes, there's a couple YouTube videos that I haven't uploaded yet. The YouTube is a little behind. It's a little behind. It's behind because there's a couple reasons it's behind. Number one reason it's behind is because I'm slow. The other reason it's behind is because being a partner on Twitch means that Twitch has 24 hours of content hold on all my stuff. I can actually be departnered if I upload. If I like stop streaming right now and went and uploaded this video to YouTube within the next hour, I could get in big trouble with Twitch. So I just choose not to do it. Because Twitch basically wants you to not upload anything anywhere else for 24 hours. And I respect that. So. Hey, Annabelle, how you doing? There have been partners that have gotten in trouble with that. Usually Twitch is not going out there looking for it or anything, but there have been partners who have gotten in trouble with Twitch for it. And I just want to, it's like, hey, YouTube is a great thing, and I love my YouTube, and I hope to expand my YouTube with shorter videos this year. Not hope to. I am going to expand my YouTube with shorter videos this year, and I'm working on a script for one right now, dealing with matches and where you can find guaranteed matches in the game and Interloper, because it's one of the most frequent questions I'm asked. So I figured, you know what? YouTube video. So I'm doing that right now. And, yeah, 4 years, Annabelle. Isn't that crazy? And so for that sort of content, I can upload it whenever I want. But for streamed content, you know, they want you to have that 24-hour hold, so. But yeah, I'm planning on doing that, Millers. I want to make my YouTube stuff more accessible. And no, the long videos are fine. I'm not ever gonna stop doing that. Don't get me wrong, that's never gonna change. Bella, how you doing? Hello. The long YouTube videos will never change because that's just me uploading my stream, and I like having that up there as an archive, if nothing else, of all my streamed stuff. You know, I have to be realistic, and a lot of viewers like shorter content stuff on YouTube. You know, the attention span of a lot of people is very short. My attention span's short sometimes too, so I'm not talking about anybody in specific. My attention span too is short. But attention spans are short, and people like, you know, to digest a 10 or 15 minute video and move on from there. Why do you think TikTok is so popular? Because people generally have the attention span of a goldfish at this point. You made it chapter 2 of story mode. Nice! Very nice. I'll give you guys night vision here because it's easier to see stuff. Yeah, exactly. What's that you're saying? What was that? I don't understand what you're saying. TikTok long dark shorts confirmed. Nice. I'd be like, why can't I do an hour-long TikTok video of long dark? Why can't I? Why won't this work? All right, we gotta wait till it gets light out. Now, one thing we can do in the cave when it's not light, well, of course we can harvest things. You can always harvest things even in the dark. But even if it's not light out in a cave, you can repair clothing in a cave in the dark unless there is a blizzard or a fog storm outside. Unless there's a blizzard or a fog storm. That's the only thing that'll stop you. It's light out now, so it doesn't matter, but yeah, you can read. You can read in a cave at night. You can mend clothes in a cave at night. You can do everything that you couldn't do usually at night in a cave, because what happens in the cave stays in the cave. But if there's a fog storm or a blizzard out, it won't allow you to do it. So I watched one YouTube video of yours, came to Twitch to find you, and never left. Well, there you go. That's how quickly I grab you, Mark Wars. That's all you need is one video. All you need is one video, and I got hundreds. I got hundreds of videos, if not thousands of videos up on YouTube. I mean, I have 5 years worth of content. Almost, yeah, over 5 years worth of content up on YouTube at this point. Your YouTube backlog has been a work-from-home lockdown godsend. Aw, thank you, Shanzo. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I always encourage people, even if you leave a bad comment, even if you don't like my video, even if you think I do something stupid on it or whatever, I love reading the comments on YouTube. Good, bad, or indifferent. This is how you map, baby. That's how you map, baby. Oh yeah, look at that map. Look at that map. That's how you map it, my friends. I love reading the comments, and honestly, I love commenting back if people have questions. I'll try to do that if they have questions. And if they leave a bad comment, I usually comment back as well. And I always end it by saying, hey, thanks for at least watching. Thanks for checking me out at least. Oh, I've been told I've been told that I talk too much, that I keep up a stream of nonsense way too much. And I'm like, hey, it's a live stream. What am I supposed to do? Sit there and just be quiet the whole time? Just sit there and be, I'm gonna go up to the top of this roof. I'm going to look around now. I see nothing. It's very exciting on top of the roof. The roof is very exciting. Oh, jeez. Shanzo with 5 gifted subs. They're just jealous. That's fine.
Scenzo001 just gifted 5 subs.
Shanzo, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Wonder 11 Gorgonza, the Chill Nile, Dire Nils, and Pioneer Odin. Welcome to the Ath Pack. That deserves some points. Hey, you know, it's one of those things that I've always tried to tell people on you know, streaming wise, that keeping a stream of consciousness, even if it's absolute nonsense, is important all the time. Because honestly, the worst thing that can happen for your channel is somebody come into your channel and find dead silence. That's like the worst thing that can happen to your channel, is that somebody comes into your channel that's brand new, that's never been there before, and all they hear is crickets. And that's all they hear. And so even if you're talking absolute gibberish nonsense, it's better than not talking at all. And sure, you want to give some good, hard-hitting gameplay tips and hints and stuff like that as you go along, but eventually you'll run out of those sort of things to do. And so just keeping a little stream of consciousness going is good. And yeah, you don't want to stray far from the topics, and a lot of times you in chat will give me things to kind of talk about. But if people come into your stream and there's just absolute silence, a lot of times they'll dip out without ever saying anything. They'll just dip out. They'll just be like, yeah, okay, I don't, there's nothing going on here. I'm out. Which is the worst thing that can happen to you, because you want those people to hang around, and then maybe you know, give you a little, they'll give you a little, hey, how's it going, or hey, I have a question. You know, that's I get a lot of people who will start in chat by saying, hey, I have a question. Ath does well to gibberish nonsense. Well, you know, sometimes crickets sound good to eat though. What? My wife does a game, and even she gets a kick out of your streams. Ah, well, Ricky Bobby, that's great. You know, and that's the thing, is like, I talk about the game, of course, but I sometimes will get on side quests where I'll be talking about, you know, pop culture a little bit. I don't really go a lot into pop culture. I don't go into politics and religion, because I keep my channel away from that. But I will go into pop culture a little bit, especially stuff that I'm passionate about, that I love, that I've loved for... I mean, I'm 51 years old now. I started working in the comic book industry when I was 15. And I worked off and on in comic books. I owned a comic book shop for about a year and a half. I worked off and on in comic books for over half my life. And I've collected comic books and comic book related materials pretty much all my life. I don't get new comics much anymore, but I do still love old stuff. And I have a passion and a love for that industry. Am I a full-time streamer? No, I'm not. You know I'm not a full-time streamer, workforce. I wish I was, but I'm not. I don't live in Canada. I'm not a full-time streamer. I don't have Corona. I've tasted locusts similar to crickets. Tastes kind of nutty. I've never tasted crickets or locusts. I'm fortunate enough that I've never had to, I guess. The carapace is like a shell. So it's almost like you're crunching through something to get to something else. Mark Ward, you're asking all the hard-hitting questions now. You're just getting them all out of the way. Don't want co-op for long dark. Don't want it. Alright, we're gonna go back up and grab that meat. I'm gonna go up and grab my meat, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna come down with a little bit of stank on us. Oh, we never searched this. Long Dark MMO. That'd be interesting. Not. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is I go circling back, Jensaki. Circling back, I love seeing comments on YouTube. I love responding to them. I love answering questions that people have. I even love the ones that are negatively aimed at me, that tell me that I'm annoying or whatever. It's like, hey, you know, you got to realize when you stream, you're never going to be everyone's cup of tea. You hope to find an audience that you are their cup of tea. Oh, great. What is going... I got to get my tech guy over. My secondary computer is like freezing up all the time. It won't even... I can't even control alt delete it. It's like stuck in a... It's not even that the frame or the browser's freezing. It's the whole computer's freezing. I'm just going to turn it off. There we go. I'm just gonna turn it off. It bothers me. You're spending the rest of the day. You're spending the rest of the day commenting on ass YouTube videos. Hey, that's fine. I'm your cup of tea with a little bit of sugar stirred in. That works. But that's the thing. That's the thing though. As a streamer, as anybody really in a public eye, you have to just like you can't let the negative comments get you down, because you're never gonna please everybody. And I think that's a big problem that a lot of people have these days. Hey, Daredevils, thank you for the 100 bits.
Going to lurk while I play 7 days.
Oh.
Hope you all have a great weekend.
Have a good lurk playing some 7 days, my friend. Have a good lurk playing the 7 days. And I think though that a lot of people these days are looking so much for validation that any negativity that comes their way, they just can't handle. I mean, I see people on Twitter and other places just like take any sort of negative criticism of what they're doing and just lose it. They just like go off the deep end. They don't know how to handle it. It's like, maybe that's because they've been coddled their entire life. Who knows? Maybe that's because they were given a trophy at every opportunity and told that they were special. It always harkens back to an episode of, yes, don't judge me, I love Sex in the City. It harkens back to an episode of Sex in the City where where Carrie and I think Samantha, I think actually all of them, they all went to a baby shower of a friend. They all went to a baby shower of a friend. And at the baby shower, they saw this mother who was sitting there going, "Oh, you're my special little boy. You're my little prince. You're so wonderful. Oh, I love you so much. You are such a special little child." And Carrie turned to, I think she turned to Samantha. It may not have been Samantha, but she turned to one of her friends and she was like, "I wonder what the chances of any woman ever being able to satisfy that man is ever going to be." Because that's true. You tell somebody that over and over again, they'll never be satisfied unless they're being told that all the time. All the time. Like George Carlin said about spoiled kids, you're the last winner. You're the last winner, exactly. I just love to see those keyboard warriors. They don't bother me as much. Yeah, well, they don't bother me either. That's the thing, is I don't let that stuff bother me. I honestly can't let it bother me, because there's always going to be people out there that don't feel, you know, that you don't represent what they're looking for or whatever. And it's like, that's fine. Go find somebody that does. Because there's lots of people out there. There's lots of people out there who aren't me. Sometimes it can wear you out though. You know, it can wear you out if there's a lot of it. But, you know, most of the time for most real people, there's not tons. They'll get 1 or 2 negative comments. They'll get 1 or 2 negative comments, and I always comment back on them. I always comment back and say, "Hey, well, you know, I'm glad you checked me out. Sorry my stream wasn't for you, but I hope you find what you're looking for out there." You know how you combat negativity? You combat it with positivity. Because honestly, most of the people that are leaving negative stuff are probably not real happy with their own lives anyway. They're probably looking for some sort of validation too. And if I can be positive towards them and give them some positive, you know, love as well, hey, that helps them out too. And honestly, the bottom line is it helps you out. Because reacting negatively to negativity does not bring positivity. Reacting negatively to negativity actually only brings you down. It doesn't hurt them. That may be almost what they're looking for, is for you to strike back with negativity, because then they feel justified that you're a bad person or you are what they say you are. If you strike back with, "Hey, you know, I hope you find what you're looking for out there. Thanks for at least checking out my stuff. You know, sorry I wasn't for you." What can they say back to that? You're mean! But a lot of times the best solution is just to ignore it. That can also work as well. If you're getting a lot, just ignore it. Another solution is if you're getting a lot, just get off social media. I know that seems really hard in our day and age, but cut the cord. I know at some point in my life I will. I know at some point in my life I probably will. Once I'm old and just kind of done with YouTube and done with Twitch, I will fade off into the distance. I'll cut the cord and I'll never look back. Because honestly, it's one of those things where, at some point you have to know your limits. I'm not within the next couple of decades. But, it'll get harder and harder once that chip in my brain gets activated. That chip in my brain gets activated, it'll get harder to cut the cord because they won't let me. But, you've heard I'm really good at Quern. I should play the Forest. And you've heard I'm really good at Quern. Should do a feature man. Check out his YouTube. You should do a feature man. A feature man. What's a feature man? I don't know what that is. What is a feature man? I'm confused. Is that a person? Oh, I'll probably keep in touch with a couple, though. I'll probably keep in touch with a couple, but knowing me, Mrs. Honeypot, if I ever decide to cut the cord, it will be cut. Hello, I just had a Maglin's work during an award. You know that could happen. I did not know that could happen. I did not know that could happen. He's a YouTuber. He's an old timer. Oh, nice. The nice thing I think about. See, I don't get on a lot of social media to begin with, and for me, I believe. See, the nice thing about Twitch, I played so much 7 Days to Die. I want to take this radiator apart. The nice thing about Twitch is that when I'm done streaming, I turn it off. I go on and do my real life. I don't really connect through Twitter or, Instagram or any of that sort of stuff very often. And so for me, it's a little bit easier to separate it all because I'm not constantly bombarded by all the other social media. I basically get on YouTube and look at my comments a little bit, and I'm here live on Twitch. And so I think for me, that's going to give me a lot more longevity mentally, because I'm not paying any attention to the rest of the garbage. The rest of it is just white noise in the background. And so for me, I think by limiting by making my own limits on that and limiting myself, I'm not going to burn out as quick. I think that's a good way to look at it, Mrs. Honeypot. I won't burn out as quick. I'll spoon with Hadrian in my golden years. No, I'll track you down, Hadrian, and spoon with you. And Mrs. Wards will have to be okay with it. Pre-social media days on a submarine, we had a guy that entertained himself by targeting somebody every watch shift. Once he upset them, he would just smile. Social media is full of those kind of people. Exactly. Oh, yeah. Social media has made trolling so much easier. Just ask BK.
Oh my.
Oh my. I like to do both YouTube and Twitch. Got to figure it's a better method for editing and posting.
Oh my.
Yeah, honestly, Twitter, the first thing you have to realize is Twitter is not real life. The number of people who actually use Twitter compared to the population in general is minuscule. Especially when you break it down. Not only is the number of people who have a Twitter account compared to the general population small, but the people who actually use Twitter on a regular basis, out of that number of people who actually have a Twitter account, is even more small. It's a small, minuscule microcosm of the universe. And Twitter is not real life. And once you realize that, you're free. It's very easy to dive down a Twitter or a Reddit rabbit hole, and believe me, I've dived down both before. It's easy to do it, and it's harder to pull yourself out of and go, this is not real life. Everything I see here is not real life. And once you pull yourself out of it and you realize it's not real life, it's a lot easier to go on with real life and not be sucked in as easily in the future. And believe me, I can get sucked into things very easily. I have that personality type where I can get sucked into stuff very easily like that. But you don't want to. You want to resist. You want to resist it. But yeah, Twitter and Reddit and those places, you can get sucked in really quick. You can find some good communities there too. I mean, especially more on Reddit than Twitter. Twitter and TikTok are dumpster fires of insanity. They're dumpster fires of insanity that don't reflect real life in any way, shape, or form. If you enjoy them, good for you. But they are dumpster fires in my eyes, and I just wouldn't be on them. If I could go back in time and get my kids off of them, I would get them off of them too. But yeah, they're pretty bad. They're pretty bad. All right, let's drop a little more wood here. But yeah, you're right. You're right. Like that person in the submarine that you were talking about, who would just target somebody and just keep picking at them until they broke, until they just got pissed, and then they'd be like, "Ah, see what I did? See what I did?" They you know, they have the social media to do it now. Has anybody seen the Eternals? I have not seen the Eternals. I have no interest in the Eternals. I have no interest. If I want to see the Eternals, I'll go read a Jack Kirby comic. But yeah, I have no interest in seeing the Eternals. It looked like a absolute mess to me. But but honestly, Mrs. Honeypot, I've kind of noped out of the MCU at this point. Other than Spider-Man No Way Home, that was amazing. I've kind of noped out of the Marvel universe at this point. So yeah, I have not seen Eternals. I have no plans to ever see the Eternals. The MCU has lost everything. The MCU. The MCU has lost me completely. They basically have just gone. They've just gone weird. They've gone weird. I saw Shang-Chi. They've also lost all their good actors, and now they're trying to replace them with other actors that aren't as good, and their characters were never that popular. There's a lot of reasons. There are a lot of reasons I've noped out of the MCU. And the Eternals is just like meh. Most of their stuff has just been kind of, it's Disneyfied. It's become more and more Disneyfied as it's gone along, and there's nothing wrong with Disneyfied stuff. But if you want to go see some good superhero movies, go watch the early Avengers. Go watch Captain America, Winter Soldier. Go watch the ones that were decent, that had good fights in them. Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah. Go watch Guardians of the Galaxy. You won't get that from Marvel anymore. They won't put that stuff out there anymore. That is the antithesis of what they want. They want very homogenized stuff. I know they still haven't tackled Silver Surfer or Galactus. Well, yeah, they're coming out with the Miss Marvel, one of the most underperforming self-insert characters ever made. They're coming out with Miss Marvel before they come out with Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, X-Men, or anything good. Shang-Chi was a lot of... how do I put it? Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi didn't have a lot of agency in his own movie. He was basically being drug around by that annoying sidekick and his sister most of the time. And it didn't feel like a Marvel movie either. That's true. It did. I guess that's a better way of putting it. I mean, you got to see the Abomination in it. That was kind of cool. You got to see the Abomination for like 5 seconds. That was kind of neat. And then you got the Abomination got stomped. Yeah, the gal who was his sidekick just was annoying. Even my son, who likes Marvel stuff a lot, was like, yeah, she was super annoying. I mean, I'm sure the actor's a lovely young lady, but they wrote her character to be really annoying. It's like, I think the thing also with Marvel that's kind of driving me nuts lately is Marvel doesn't know how to make a serious movie anymore. They always have to put in, they're like, oh, we made a joke, or we had a serious moment. We need to make a joke now and lighten it up. We need to make a joke and lighten it up now. And it's like, no, you could have some good, I mean, there's some great serious moments in Marvel movies. Serious moments are what draws people in. It's what connects people in movies. I mean, look at Lord of the Rings. When Gandalf dies, as a fan of Lord of the Rings, I knew Gandalf was coming back. But Elijah sold that scene so well that it brings you tears to your eyes when you see Gandalf fall to the Balrog and Elijah be like, no, you know, and trying to get back to him. I mean, and the grief they felt afterwards, even though as a fan of Lord of the Rings, I knew Gandalf was not gone, but their characters didn't know it, and they sold it so well that you felt that emotion, and then they didn't crack a joke 5 minutes later. But hey, you know, I've not seen Eternals. Maybe someone here. Oh, Captain Britain, I would love. Henry Cavill for Captain Britain, please. Henry Cavill for Captain Britain. Henry Cavill for Captain Britain. Couldn't you see him? And that's the thing, is like, Marvel needs to take a step back and be like, we need to make a few serious movies. The humor, it all started with Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is at fault for it. Now, Guardians did it right.
Use this.
But Guardians started the whole thing because they saw how successful Guardians was, and they were like, let's do that in all of our movies. That's a great idea. We need a slappy sidekick for every movie, cracking jokes and making fun. So I love the first Guardians movie. The second one I wasn't as thrilled about. But I love the first Guardians movie, but it really made them go, but that's what's going to happen now. I guarantee you, you know why serious reshoots are happening with Doctor Strange and the Marvels movie, which I'll never go see. It's because they're going to put cameos in it. They saw how well Spider-Man No Way Home, which, by the way, Spider-Man No Way Home made more money than Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and the Eternals combined in less than a month. Wake up, Marvel. So they're going to be putting a lot of cameos in all the upcoming movies because they think, oh, well, that's the formula. That's the formula now. Let's put in a Captain America appearance by Chris Evans for 5 seconds into a movie so we can pump it up as a cameo. Well, we can sell them on that, you know. But that's the thing. I mean, they basically well, that's another thing, Ricky Bobby, that I didn't want to get too heavy into, but they have a social agenda they want to put out with Marvel movies at this point, and agree with it or not, I don't want to be preached to while I'm watching a movie. I just want to be entertained. I can hear about social stuff all day long on Twitter and the news and everywhere else other than my stream. and other than you know, my entertainment that I'm hoping to get out there. And when I go see a movie, I don't want to be beat over the head being told how horrible a person I am. I just want to go there and be entertained and have some fun for a couple hours. I want to forget about real life. I want to forget about real life for a couple hours. And that's what Spider-Man No Way Home did. I will admit, Spider-Man No Way Home made me cry. I will admit, Spider-Man No Way Home made me cry. I mean, when Andrew Garfield, and sorry, spoilers, if you don't want Spider-Man No Way Home spoilers, turn away now. I'm sorry. The movie's been out for like a month. You should have seen it by now if you haven't already. But the moment where Andrew Garfield, catches MJ, which regardless of whether I like MJ or not, the moment he catches her and the way he emotes and the way that he like reacts to being able to save her when he couldn't save Gwen. I mean, I was just like, it's bringing chills to me right now just thinking about it. Just thinking about it just brings chills. Because it was so well done. It was just like beautiful. It was beautiful. It was written on an onion. I know, it was written on an onion. Okay, you can come back now. You can come back now. You can come back now. I won't talk about No Way Home spoilers anymore. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. But yeah, No Way Home was a great movie. No Way Home did it right. They did enough fan service to make the fans happy. This is non spoilers, by the way, Leon. They did enough fan service to make the fans happy. They had good action. They had a few jokes in it. But they weren't overdone. They had some good serious moments in it as well that they then didn't ruin by a joke. And I think that's the thing they need to take away from it, is they need to not ruin the serious moment, because when you do that in a cinematic sense, you basically are telling people, oh, this serious moment that we built up to and made you feel, yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You don't need to feel that. Your feelings are wrong. And it kind of jolts you out, because that's not and I think the thing is that jolts you out of a movie as well, because that's not reality. When people in real life are having a serious moment like that, if somebody does crack a joke, the automatic response is stop being so insensitive. I mean, if like somebody's going through a really serious thing and somebody cracks a joke trying to maybe lighten the mood, most of the time people will be like, stop being a jerk. Don't crack a joke right now. This is a serious moment. And that's kind of what it feels like in the movie sometimes, is they crack that joke and you almost want to turn to the writer and go, stop cracking a joke. I want this serious moment because I want to feel what these guys are feeling. I want to feel what they're going through. I don't want it degraded into nothing more than just a ha-ha moment. Thinking of Drax paired with Shaggy and Scooby. It is a balancing act. You need to have it. You don't want it to get too serious, but at the same time, you want it to be serious enough. I think the big problem Marvel has right now, and go look at it if you don't believe me, is that most of their showrunners that they're hiring right now have little to no experience writing anything. They are not hiring writers and showrunners. They are casting showrunners and writers at this point. They already know what the story is going to be, and they just got to fill in the holes. And the people they're hiring are not that great. The people they're hiring are being hired for reasons other than their ability at writing or managing a show. And I think that's sad. I think that's a sad state of affairs for the industry. But it is where it is. And so, you know, for that and many other reasons, I've just well, yeah, they have a lot of people who follow them on TikTok and a lot of people who follow them on Twitter, and but you look at their writing credits and they maybe have partial writing credits on some shows or no writing credits on anything. Hey, there's a battery. But, yeah. Oh, with comic book movies, there's so much source material they could draw on. There's so much source material. Unfortunately, the source material doesn't fit their agenda that they have going on right now. So they generally either ignore it or bastardize it or make it into something. They basically take the source material and don't make it like it should have been made, which is kind of what pisses fans like me off, because I want it to be close to the source material. I want it to be close to the source material. I want the source material to have an impact on what it is. I mean, for years when I was growing up, and I grew up during the 80s and 90s where the comic book movies were horrible. Horrible comic book movies. I mean, they make today's horrible comic book movies look like Picasso's. I grew up during the 80s and 90s with horrible comic book movies. But at least they tried to stay close to the source material in a lot of ways. They try. They didn't always succeed, but they try. Well, have fun with it. I'm curious to hear what you think of it, because I haven't seen it. The main thing I heard about it, Mrs. Honeypot, here's the main thing I heard about the Eternals. Not that it was horrible or anything like that, but it was very flat and boring. That's the main thing I heard about it. It was flat and boring with a couple of punctuated fights in it. But let me know tomorrow. Let me know what you think. Because hey, you can change my mind. You could change my mind. I am never at a point where my mind is closed off to it, boys and girls. So, Mrs. Wars wants you to watch it this weekend. Well, let me know. Well, see, that was the thing. See, that was my biggest fear with it, Rob Logan. First off, that the Eternals are a relatively unknown group of heroes. Even in comic book nerddom, the Eternals is very unknown. So in general, and that's the thing I love too, is that you get all these people on Twitter who come out as being experts on the Eternals. I'm sorry, I've been in the comic book industry and a comic book fan for over 40 years, and I barely know the Eternals. I know a couple of them just because they've been in other stuff, but I barely know the Eternals, let alone care about them. And so comic book people coming out on Twitter saying they're now Eternals fans are complete posers. And there's nothing I hate more than a poser. I'll admit, I don't know a lot about the Eternals. I own some of the Eternals comic books. Actually, I think I own some of the classic ones written and drawn by Jack Kirby. So, does it have Selma Hayek, Angelina Jolie? It does, but you'll see no figure. It basically, I think Austin Powers said it best. It's a man, baby. They basically look like men with long hair. Hey, if you're into men with long hair, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, both Selma Hayek and Angelina Jolie are very attractive women, and I think from what I've seen in pictures, the movie does their best to make them not that attractive. There's a problem with Hollywood and attractive women these days. You notice it's okay. I mean, like in you notice that it's totally fine for every Marvel superhero male to take his shirt off at every opportunity. And ladies, I do not deny that Chris Hemsworth is a very attractive man. Oh, jeez. Chris Hemsworth with his shirt off, I could dare to dream to have a physique like that. And the hair as well. But there seems to be this big bugaboo about having the attractive women dressed attractively anymore. I mean, Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson is a very, very attractive woman. And there's something wrong now with having her be too attractive in movies or something, I guess. I don't know. I don't get it. Hollywood, pull your head out. Sex is always sold. You've always sold sex. Don't try to pretend that you're this great bastion of non-sexuality, because you've always sold sex throughout your films all the time. Well, I mean, my favorite thing with Scarlett Johansson, and especially the early Black Widow, not the Black Widow movie itself, but the early Black Widow stuff with Scarlett Johansson was awesome. I mean, you remember that scene from I think wasn't it the Avengers one where she's been
captured by the Russians and they're interrogating them, and she's kind of like playing along until she gets that phone call. And was it Iron Man 2? Was it Iron Man 2? Well, she gets that phone call where Hawkeye's gone missing, and her whole demeanor changes, and you realize that she was the one in charge the whole time. That she was captured by these guys, and she was being tortured by these guys because that's the way she wanted it. That's the way she wanted it. That's the first sex scene, which I heard Rob Logan that sex scene was so unsexual, and it was so unset up, and basically like the passion between those two was so non-passionate. Yeah, that scene was in Avengers 1. And she suddenly, and it's like she hears Hawkeye. She hears Hawkeye is in danger. And she's like, you know what? Hold on just a second. Let me finish up here. And she proceeds to basically kick all those guys' butts. But see, that's the femme fatale. The femme fatale uses that sexuality. She uses all of her wiles. She realizes that she's not as strong as the 300-pound Russian mobster. I watched part of one episode of the Kate Bishop Show, also known as Hawkeye, but it's the Kate Bishop Show's co-star in Hawkeye. And Kate Bishop is throwing around guys 3-4 times her size. I'm sorry, that's not real life. That's not real life. It's just not. It's just not. All one of those guys would have to do is fall on her and she'd be done. That's all he'd have to do. She weighs like 120 pounds soaking wet coming out of a bathtub. You know, and so that's not how it would go. There are a few top level elite martial arts ladies that could probably kick their butt. But that's not what Kate Bishop is. Kate Bishop, honestly, she was another failed Marvel insert that they tried to put out there that failed over and over and over again in the comics because nobody cared about her. Nobody wanted to buy her. Nobody, I mean, her comic never did anything. And they're trying to put her in the MCU now, too. You're here for the Hadrian content? I know. But anyway, so anyhow, enough about the MCU. I've gone on enough about that. I've said this before and said it again. Yeah, at least they didn't degrade him too much, other than him constantly. I've seen clips of him telling Kate Bishop how amazing she is. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. And then Kate Bishop completely destroys the Kingpin, which if you want to see a good superhero movie, go watch Daredevil. Or not Daredevil. If you want to see a good superhero show, go watch Daredevil. Watch how the Kingpin destroys the Daredevil in that movie. I'm sorry, Kate Bishop is not fighting against Kingpin and winning. It's not going to happen. Kingpin's not going to be that stupid. If you're willing to accept the existence of Infinity Stones, it seems like everything else should be acceptable. Yes and no. Yes and no. The Infinity Stones are a little bit of a reach for me. There's a lot of bugaboos I have with Infinity Stones, too. The Infinity Stones were always... They kind of overreach with the Infinity Stones. The Infinity Stones were interesting. The Infinity Stones were an interesting concept in the comic books. When they did it on the cosmic scale. And they had Adam Warlock involved. They had a whole bunch of, the Earth heroes were involved, but it was much more on a cosmic scale. And the comic book gave Thanos a reason. There was a cosmic reason for Thanos to do it. And that reason, which they totally changed, they totally retconned it in the movie, that reason was not about balance. Thanos is in love with death, with the actual personification, the actual physical personification of death. And Thanos, to please his lover Death, was going to kill the entire universe. except for him and Death. Not half the universe. His goal was to eliminate the universe for her. That was going to be his ultimate gift to Death, is to kill every living, sentient, and non-sentient thing in the entire universe for his love. And that brought Adam Warlock into it. That brought, so they kind of microed it down a little bit for the MCU, because I'm sure they thought that was too heady of a concept. Thanos versus comic book strength Deadpool versus Squirrel Girl. yet in Loki's series, they're almost worthless. Oh well, the Loki series was a joke. The Loki series was another Marvel handing over the mantle of a very popular character to a female that's has no agency of her own, and then basically saying, yeah, Loki's not that great. I mean, Loki was like the main protagonist. Look how powerful Loki in Avengers 1 was, and then look at him in the Loki series. Watch those back to back. Watch Loki in Avengers 1, watch him in the Loki series, and understand that the Loki series technically takes place less than a week after Avengers. Less than a week after he got captured by the Avengers, because that Loki in the Loki series is the one that picks up the cube when he's being transported out in Avengers Endgame, and the cube gets dropped in the past, and he finds it, and he zaps out. That's when the Loki series takes place. So look at the Loki in Avengers, and look at his personality. Look at his psyche in the Avengers, and then look at him in the Loki series and be like, how the heck did we get from point A to point B? It makes no sense at all. Makes no sense at all. None whatsoever. But that's the thing, is Loki, the staff wasn't giving him the power. Loki's had the power of illusion. Loki is as powerful as Thor is, Loki is a Thor level character with magic. Loki is a Thor level character with magic that they totally wasted. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love whatever his name is, Tom. I can never say his last name. It's like Hiddleston or Hiddlestand. I love. He's a great actor. He's a great actor. But when the Loki series, the biggest thing about the Loki series was Alligator Loki. That was like the meme that was going around for a while. When that's the biggest thing that you get out of the Loki series, you might have a problem. Nobody cares about Sylvie. Nobody cares about that waste of a character, Sylvie, who taught herself magic at the age of 6. Oh, she's so amazing. She's so amazing. She taught herself magic at the age of 6. Nobody cares about her character. They don't really, that character doesn't mean anything to me at all. Nothing. I mean, sorry, it just doesn't. Loki is and always will be Tom. He will always be that character. That is Loki. Loki is an amazingly awesome protagonist, or antagonist, not protagonist. He's an amazingly awesome protagonist. And actually, and despite how I feel about the other Thor movies were the other Thor movies weren't the greatest. Let's just be real. But the story arc that Loki goes through the Thor movies, I'm very curious. I was very happy with how that arc went. Because Loki became such a greater character through that arc. Reconciling with Thor, reconciling with Odin. He had a character arc, which is one thing I don't see a lot of characters having anymore. We're told that they have a character arc. We aren't shown that character arc. And so we don't care about that character arc. Because when you're told about something, it has no impactful meaning on you personally. When you see something and you watch it grow and you watch it change and happen, you become invested in it because because you are now part of the adventure. You're part of that experience going along. Being told how wonderful somebody's character is and how much they've had to go through doesn't really mean a whole lot to you, because honestly, you've never seen it happen to them. And when you're being told a story about that character, it doesn't have as much of an impact as when you actually experience the story about the character. When you go through the story about the character and experience all the stuff that they're going through. Yeah, we're talking about Loki, the TV show. Yeah, Loki at best is an anti-hero. Yeah. I mean, and that's how he was always in the comic books. Loki was always a comic book, he was never a hero in the comic books. He always had his own agenda. And even if he was helping you out, he had his own agenda, and he probably was going to stab you in the back at some point. Because he always had his own agenda. That's what Loki was all about. Loki is the god of mischief. Well, I didn't care much. The little bit I saw of the show, and honestly, I watched more reactions to the show and reviews of the show than I actually watched of hours of the show. I didn't get a good vibe off of it. I watched a few episodes of it, and I just got bored. And it wasn't the Loki I liked. It wasn't the Loki I had. It was a bait and switch. I guess that's a good way of putting it. It was a bait and switch. It's like, oh, look, Tom Hiddleston's going to be in the show. It's Hiddleston, by the way. Tom Hiddleston's going to be in this Loki show. You should watch it. Jangle, 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 jangle. Here's the Tom Hiddleston keys. Oh, wait, no. Tom Hiddleston's character is basically garbage, and he can't do magic anymore. And he can't do any of the things that he could do in the Avengers movie anymore. And he basically he walks around in a janitor's uniform or a mailman's uniform half the time. Well, it's because Disney Plus does not hire writers. Disney Plus casts writers. They cast a writer that is a specific person that they want to cast, and then they tell them, this is the show you're gonna do. And we got all the scenes and the outline worked out for you. Have fun with it. I know, he would stab you in the back while you're talking to his illusion in the front. But yeah, most of the word I've got on most of the Disney Plus shows is people just are kind of bored. They're just bored of them. It's the same thing over and over again. It's the same thing over and over again. And it just jangles the keys for the next thing. So consume content, get excited for next content, consume that content and get excited for next content. That's Disney's sort of mantra at this point. Where, you know, the old Marvel stuff, when it wasn't owned by Disney, which a lot of people forget, the Avengers, the early stuff was not owned by Disney. Disney was not in control back then, like they are now. That stuff was being made, and it was being made well. And it was being made with the fans in mind. It was being made with the story in mind. It was being made with the source material in mind. And by the way, I totally agree with Mrs. Honeypot. Henry Cavill for Captain Britain, please. Henry Cavill for Captain Britain. Definitely. Definitely bring me Henry Cavill for Captain Britain. I would love to see Henry Cavill as Captain Britain. That would be awesome. I got two of them coming. Woo! Let's go. Yeah, well, Sony's laughing all the bank for yeah. Yeah, at least Disney Plus has... Good God. Don't say that, WoW Dane. Don't say that. Oh, God, you're going to break my heart now. Disney Plus has Firefly. Just kill me now. I heard somebody say it, and I can't remember who it was, but they basically said, in this day and age, pray that the properties you love do not get remade. Pray that the properties you love do not get remade. Just give it. Just hope that like they stay silent for like they stay off the shelf for like another 10 years or so until we get out of this crazy timeline that we're in. All right, let's head back. Oh, we're tired. We should sleep for the night. But anyway, I'm gonna get off my rant. You're going for a run. Mark Wars is like, I'm done hearing about Atheenon rant about Marvel stuff. I'm going for a run. We're gonna get off the Marvel rant. But yeah, in long story short, I've noped out of most Marvel stuff. I'll probably go see Doctor Strange because I think he plays the character very well. I'm a little worried about it because it's gonna have Wanda in it. You know, the woman who was told, don't worry about enslaving thousands of people. They don't understand what you went through. No, you enslaved thousands of people to the point where they were like, please kill me. Please kill me. I can't take this anymore. You enslaved thousands of people for your own selfish, petty, little, I lost my man, breakdown. You enslaved thousands of people and you're told, just go away. Just go away. I'm going to have to edit this whole conversation out. Yeah, Monica Rambeau goes, they don't understand what you went through. It's good. It's good. Don't worry about it. You just go do your thing. And then Doctor Strange comes up to you and goes, Wanda, I need, I've come to talk to you. And she's like, yeah, I sort of knew this was coming. And he's like, oh, I'm not here about that place. We're here for your help. And that concerns me right there. Because she should pay some consequences for stuff. She should. Wanda was always a bad guy in my lore. Wanda was always a bad guy. She was a bad guy when she was part of the Mutant Brotherhood. She was a bad guy when she caused House of M. She was a bad guy. But she was a good bad guy. I liked her character as a bad guy. I thought she was awesome because she had all this power. She's a bad guy in Age of Ultron. No, she wasn't a bad guy for a long time in Age of Ultron. She wasn't horrible in that. I hate that they killed off Quicksilver, though. They shouldn't have killed him off. But anyway, so regardless, I'm gonna go see Doctor Strange. I'll let you know what I think about that one. I'm never gonna go see the Marvels because I don't care. I never liked the Captain Marvel movie. I thought it was garbage. Brie Larson's a horrible actress, and I didn't like her portrayal of Carol Danvers at all. Marvel. I'm sorry, Marvel is Marvel. The whole movie was just garbage. It was bad. I know it made a lot of money, which is sad, but it made a lot of money because it came out when it did, not for what it was. And so I'll go see Doctor Strange. I'll go see that one. Yeah, I'm excited for Doctor Strange. I think it will be good. It should be interesting. I think they'll be going evil doctor. There'll be evil doctor that'll be fighting. It was right in the coattails of Infinity War. Yeah, it was. Infinity War made them a buttload of money. And it's sort of like on YouTube when you have a successful video on YouTube. Oh, we're done with it. When you have a successful video on YouTube, usually your next couple videos are pretty successful as well because people are drawn into it and you're getting a lot of new traffic off that successful video. And when you have an unsuccessful video, usually your next couple are not as good as either because your videos aren't getting as much new traffic on them. So it definitely can affect it definitely can be affected by that. I like the Agent Carter show. I actually really like that one, Wow Dane. I'm with you there. I'm a little miffed they didn't renew that one. Because I thought the Agent Carter one, I was never a big fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I liked the Agent Carter one. I loved her character. She had that femme fatale. I love femme fatales. I will admit right now, I am a huge sucker for a femme fatale. I will take a femme fatale any day. I love the character. I love a gal that can pull one off really well. And I loved her character in that. Her character was great in that. Hey, I'm not on a rant anymore. I'm telling you what I love. Here's what I love. No, here's what I love. I loved Agent Carter. I thought that was a great show. I had a lot of fun watching that one. Yeah, it's too bad. Yeah, I know. It's sad when people leave shows like, you know, George Clooney's big. George Clooney's big, okay? But so everybody saw him leave ER to pursue movie careers, and everybody else decided to do the same thing. You notice how there was this exodus from ER. All these people got the success on ER that they'd never had before, and George Clooney was like, you know, I'm gonna go do some movie stuff, and he went and did some movie stuff. And then what's her name? Went off and did some movie stuff and never got famous. The guy who played Goose in Top Gun went off and tried to do some movie stuff and never got famous. You know, I mean, you know who he is, but he never got as big as George Clooney. Everybody saw George Clooney go off and get super famous, and they're like, I can do that too. I really liked Bones for a while. Bones was a fun show. Bones was a fun show for a while until they got married. Castle was a great show until they got married. It's like, why do TV shows... I think it's because they hit rating slumps, and they're like, what can we do to get the ratings back? Oh, we'll marry the main characters who for the last 3 years have been on again, off again. Will they, won't they? Will they, won't they get together? So we're in a rating slump, so we'll marry them. And then the show just kind of goes... It's kind of sad. Because I enjoyed both Bones and, he was in Top Gun before ER. Oh, he was already on the decline. I thought ER was like the upswing for him, Tyler. Now I feel really bad. ER was the uphill for him. Bones and Castle. Yeah, Bones and Castle. Bones and Castle. Why did they... I loved that Castle and Kate Bishop had like their own lives. They were kind of those buddy cops. Well, they weren't buddy cops, but they kind of had their own lives. They dated their own people. There was always a little bit of the will they, won't they. Nathan Fillion is the best. I love Nathan Fillion. There was always this will they, won't they, but you know, they never consummated it until they did, and then it should have been, you know, then it should have been like, it should have like deteriorated, or something should have had to break them up or something, you know, and they'd still remain cop buddies but not like evolved with each other. But Bones was the same way. They you know, they had the will they, won't they, and that's the exciting stuff. That's the exciting stuff. You know, the first season of Rookie was really good. The second season went way political. And I don't watch shows that go political. That go overtly political. It turns me off. I don't find them entertaining anymore. And I haven't got back into it since. I tried watching the first couple episodes of The Rookie, and it was all political stuff. And I was just like, yeah, the drama between two actors is great. And my God, as much as, I guess off-screen Nathan Fillion, and I can't remember the guy who played Kate Bishop, but as much, I don't think they got along real well behind the scenes, but they had great chemistry on screen. Great chemistry on screen. But from what I think they were the ones that didn't get along well behind screen. I liked the first season of The Rookie. I thought it was pretty well done. And I always enjoy Nathan Fillion and stuff. I kind of noped out. I get bombarded by politics and religion stuff so much in my regular life. I don't want it in my entertainment. The girl Mel from Dark Matter. I know that was awesome seeing her. And so yeah, when I get to entertainment, I just want to get away from it. I just want to be like, I want to sit down and have a good buddy story, or a good laugh, or a good adventure. Nathan Fillion's from your city in Canada. Always one of those Canadian imports. Nice. Respect for the Canadian import. I just want to be entertained. I just want to sit back and let myself go. And you know, get back. Yeah, thank him. Yeah, thank you for him. Thank you for him, and thank him for being so awesome. And Ryan Reynolds. I love Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is awesome. But yeah, I really like Castle. I actually have been going back and watching some Castle, and I'm almost dreading getting to the point where they get married. I'm almost dreading that. Dark Matter was a good show. I liked it. Free Guy was a fun, goofy, simple movie. Was it a great movie? No. Was it a fun movie? Yeah, it was fun. You sit back for a couple hours, you laugh, you have fun. Where are movies like that these days? I think that's something also Hollywood has to start remembering. Is not every movie has to have a message. You can make a dumb movie like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, or Free Guy, or you know, something like that, where it doesn't have to have an overarching message or plot. It could be a self-contained movie that's fun, that's cool to watch, that you get a laugh out of, or you cry about, or you just sit back with your buddies and go, hey, that was a good time, thanks for going out, you know? They need to get back to that. I think so much anymore, they're looking so far into the future that they can't see the forest for the trees. Nathan Fillion for Firefly was the best. Oh, Nathan Fillion's Firefly,
My fingers.
how do you ever, that's the thing, is rebooting Firefly I think is a huge mistake. You need to leave Firefly where it was. With the fond memories, the loving feeling we have for it, the joy that I see whenever I see a piece of Firefly merchandise, and I'm like, ooh, I can get a Jane pin. Have I ever seen Dr. Horrible's sing-along? I have not seen that, no. I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. Did the primary buffer panel just fall off my Gorom ship? But that's the thing, is like, you know, they need to leave movies, they need to leave content like that. Maybe make something in the Firefly universe. Like, I could see them making something in the Firefly universe, but they need to leave the Firefly alone. They need to leave it alone. Because honestly, there's no recapturing that lightning in a bottle. There's no recapturing the dynamics that crew had, where you could go, okay, what's Jane's character? And in 11 short episodes, well, 12, I guess, but in those short amount of episodes that we were introduced to Jane, Inara, Wash, all the different characters, we actually can tell you, as fans, we can tell you what those characters' traits are. What they're good at, what they're bad at, what they do like, what they don't like, how they act around other characters, how they interact with the other characters. You can tell, because the writing was that good. The writing was that well done. And that's what really is the hallmark of a great show, is when in that short amount of time, you can have that ensemble of a cast and still be able to go, this is the character I really like. This is the character I don't like. You know, this is the character I really feel for. I can tell you all about him. Farscape's the same thing. Oh yeah, Farscape's amazing. How do you ever get a Farscape again? How do you ever get a Farscape again? You can't. I mean, you could get close to it, but I have very serious doubts that Farscape could happen in this day in corporate age. They'd be like, okay, well, we want to have a funny guy. We want to have a guy who's a little, we want to have a body positivity character. We want to have a minority character. We want to have this character. They wouldn't be like, oh, we need somebody who's a strong, tough Aaron Sun type character. We need to cast for that. They'd be like, no, we need them to be this way. You know, they would. I mean, God, Aaron Sun is one of the greatest characters ever written. Played by one of the sexiest gals ever out there too, Claudia Black. Mwah. Call me. Wow, Dane will agree with me. Claudia Black, call me. I'm right here. Stargate Atlantis was great. Stargate Universe was interesting, but it was different. Yeah. Stargate SG1 was great until they got Claudia Black and Ben Bowder in it. Don't get me wrong, I love Claudia Black and Ben Bowder, but Stargate SG1 for me is all about Jack O'Neill. And Jack O'Neill, Samantha, Teal'c, and when they broke up the team just to make the series longer, I kind of lost interest. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of lost interest a little bit because it wasn't the same show anymore. And as much as I love Claudia Black and Ben Bowder, it was about O'Neill. It was about O'Neill. It was about Samantha Carter. It was about those wonderful characters that I love, and it has nothing to do with them bringing in Bowder and Claudia Black. I love those two guys as actors. I love them as actors. Oh yeah, he started. Yeah, that's the thing. The reason I started watching Stargate SG1 is that MacGyver was in it. And the reason I stayed is because he did an awesome job as that character, Richard Dean Anderson. Thank you. I couldn't pull the name off the top of my head. In the middle of my backswing, yeah. And Jack O'Neill's character was so opposite MacGyver, because MacGyver was like pacifist. He didn't like using weapons. He'd make little traps. He was think his way out of the situation character. And Richard Dean Anderson's Jack O'Neill character was like, can we blow it up? Let's blow it up. Let's just blow it up and be done with it. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, that it was like so great that he could step into that role and carry off that character, when for so long all I've ever seen him as was MacGyver, who was always like thinking his way out, making cool things, MacGyvering items together. MacGyverisms actually became a like actual word in the dictionary. But that was a great role for him, stepping into Jack O'Neill's role, especially with the big shoes he had to fill from the movie. It was a great role for him to step into, because you know it's always hard to step into a role where an actor of the caliber of Kurt Russell is played before you, it's hard to do that, and he did it with a lot of class. He did it with a lot of panache. He did a very good job stepping into that role and taking over that role, and I loved him in that role. He was great. He was great. O'Neill with the double grenades dropping the mothership in SG1, the best. Oh yeah. O'Neill, when it came time to blow up stuff, you could just see the glee in his face when he was blowing stuff up. He was so happy. So happy. But that's the thing, it's like, you know, they wanted to extend Stargate. And they wanted to extend SG1, which I understand. When it comes down to it, never let the companies fool you. For the company, all the show is a paycheck. It's a ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. They don't care about the fandom, other than selling you next product. They don't care about that. They care about if they can make the show successful, if they can make money off of it. The longer they can have a show on air, the better they can do at syndicating it, especially since syndication was such a big thing back then. So they want to extend that show out there as long as they possibly can. And that's why back in the day, not having your show run for at least 5 years was kind of the kiss of death, because a show that was 5 years or longer was very good for syndication. A show that was less than 5 years generally didn't get syndicated as much. So they liked that. They wanted to hit that 5-year mark. But that's changed a lot now with streaming services and stuff, of course. But back then, that was the goal. And so they wanted to extend the show out, even though, honestly, I don't think Richard Dean Anderson was really into it after that. Like you said, he kind of phoned it in when he wasn't the main star. He'd show up for some guest appearances in Stargate Universe, Stargate Atlantis. Honestly, I think Stargate Atlantis eclipsed, in my mind, it eclipsed Stargate SG-1. And when Stargate SG-1 was going down, Atlantis was going up. and it eclipsed in my mind the popularity. I started watching way more Atlantis than I was watching of SG-1. I like the stories in it. I like the characters in it. I thought it was really well done. As much as I like The Expanse, it just doesn't live up to Farscape. I love The Expanse. The Expanse has been kind of disappointing the last couple seasons. The first 3 seasons of The Expanse are solid.
Too much stuff to
The first
carry.
3 are solid seasons. Very solid. 4th season kind of... It's okay. It's not bad. 5th season is kind of boring. 6th season so far has been okay. I haven't actually finished it.
I need to drop.
But I love Farscape. I love Farscape. SG-1's the best sci-fi ever. SG-1's a great sci-fi. It doesn't hit my top 5 though. None of the SGs hit my top 5. So
Too heavy.
they're great shows though. I enjoyed them a lot. You own all seasons of Stargate, got them all at Pawn America. Not a scratch on them. Nice. That's so cool. I haven't even started the new season of Expanse. I'm waiting for them to all come out before I drop another Amazon Prime. Yeah, if you don't have Amazon Prime, that's a good way to go. Just wait till they drop them all, and then pick them up, and then get them.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Let's see. How much gear do we have on us? We got a lot of gear on us. We're gonna trek it back over. My top 5 sci-fi shows of all time: classic and early modern Doctor Who. Don't lump me in with the Doctor Who that they're doing now. But Doctor Who is my #1 sci-fi show of all time. It's what I grew up on. It's what I loved. It's what made me love sci-fi. So it'll always be my #1. Tom Baker is my #1 Doctor, by the way. Farscape is my #2. Farscape's my #2 because it's Farscape. I mean, I can't escape it. It's Farscape. Babylon 5 is my #3 because Babylon 5 is the pinnacle to me. Babylon 5 to me is the pinnacle of episodic storytelling, where they tell the story through each episode, and each episode builds on the next one, builds on the next one, builds on the next one, builds on the next one. And it was doing it way before The Expanse, way before anything else was doing it. I mean, they were doing it back when that was not the way you did TV. They did it so well that honestly, they did it so well that Deep Space Nine took a lot of notes. Let's just put it that way. Deep Space Nine is a great show, but they took a lot of notes from Babylon 5 and how it was performing. Yeah, and it was fully pre-planned with escape hatches. If they needed to eliminate characters, there were escape hatches pre-built into the story. Unlike Game of Thrones, the story for Babylon 5 was thought through very well. My 4th favorite show... Yeah, I just took a shot at Game of Thrones there. Jamie Murray, who's in Warehouse 13, is good. My 4th favorite of all time is Farscape. Farscape is a wild, wacky, heart-rending, beautifully, amazingly awesome, crazy show with puppets and sci-fi and Scorpius. I mean, right there you got me at Scorpius. Oh god, the guy who plays Scorpius. Oh my god, that character is freaking awesome. It's a unique show that will never ever be duplicated. And then my 5th favorite show right now is The Expanse. My 5th show is kind of a malleable. My 5th show is a malleable. It changes a lot. For a long time, I liked BSG. Battlestar Galactica, the new one, was like up there. It was like my top 5. That was done for purely political reasons based on accusations that, where's the proof? Where's the proof? It was a total wuss move on their part, which kind of pisses me off at Amazon, but There you go. What can you do? Jeff Bezos, if you're listening, it was a bad move. You took away one of the best characters from the show for reasons that I don't even... I've seen the reasons for it. And it's all like accusations of certain things that were done that I don't really want to go into. I've seen the reasoning, but it all seems like excuses. It all seems rather he said, she said to me. But that's how the world runs right now. Is he said, she said. You don't need to have proof of anything. All you need is a good accusation, and that's good enough for people. With Edward James Olmos. Oh, I loved Edward James Olmos. Oh. Yeah, is Farscape's a mix between Jim Henson, Lost in Space, sci-fi parody, but not really parody. He's found hard to think of Starbuck as a woman. I did too. You know, Tyler, I had a hard time with that as well. Because for me, Dirk Benedict was Starbuck for so long. He's the Starbuck I grew up with. And you know, BSG is a perfect example of a show where they changed certain characters and they sold it. They changed it, but they didn't make it. You notice in none of the hype for BSG was their first female Starbuck character ever. First boomer female character ever. They just went, hey, that's the character now. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And we're going to try to make them as likable as we possibly can. And we're going to try to make them as good as we possibly can. And they did it. I loved Kara. I loved Starbuck's character in the new BSG. There's so much depth, so much good acting, so much good stuff. Katie Sackhoff is amazingly a great actress. Oh, Bad Gal, we're talking about sci-fi and shows that we love. Because I already went off on a rant on Marvel and MCU movies that I don't like. So now we're talking about stuff we love and why and how they did it right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like, they recast some of the characters as women in Stargate, in BSG. Which I was fine with. It was, you know, I've never been against that. Just make him a good character. Make him about something. That's the problem I think Hollywood has, is that Hollywood drops the ball when they make a character female and that is her only attribute. When they go, this character, she's female. Like her. And it's like, no, you got to give me a reason to like any character, male or female. Purple alien, green Martian. You got to give me a reason to like this character. If you give me no reason to like them other than what they are, then that's boring, flat, and I'm probably not going to like them. And so you got to give me a reason. You got to give me that. You got to give me that. You got to give me that incentive to like them. And they did a great job with Kara Thrace. I mean, heck, I know her name is Kara Thrace. That is not her name in anything else. Her name is Kara Thrace. That's how much I liked her character. I don't even really refer to her as Starbuck most of the time. I refer to her as Kara Thrace because that's her character in the show. They did such a good job building her character up and making her an amazing character. They did a great job with Boomer the same way. I mean, her character was very complex, very torn, very very haunted. Even though she was playing one of the Cylons. She did a great job. But yeah, I love that. I mean, BSG took character development to a next level. And I think that's the thing about it that was awesome. Fun fact, BSG has 3 versions of the 78 movie with 3 different scenes included or taken out back in 78. Wow! I didn't even know that. That's cool. I love Battlestar Galactica though. But hey, Buzz, how you doing, Buzz? I hope you're having a good one, man. But yes, Bad Gal, how are you doing? Let's talk to Bad Gal now. Bad Gal, what would you say is your favorite sci-fi? Like if you could only take one sci-fi, and by the way, go follow Bad Gal Katie. She plays some Long Dark. She's awesome and amazing. If you had to pick a sci-fi, and it was the sci-fi you got to take to a desert island with you for a month, what would that sci-fi be? And go check out Casadar Goes Roar. Last playing some Diablo 3. Both lovely streamers in the community. I love them both to death. So it would be like turning Sarah Connor into male and saying, yay! No, Sarah Connor's always Sarah Connor. See, that's the thing is like I don't know if Hollywood's memory is just bad or if they just are trying to be stupid on purpose. But they make such a big deal about making certain characters women that it's like, do you forget that Ripley was a character that everybody loved? Sarah Connor was a character that everybody loved, and they were badass women. Nobody cared if they were a woman or a man or a purple-green alien from Mars. They were badass characters, and the actresses playing them were badass too. And they did they played them awesome. They were badass actors. Movies, TV though, Alien. Oh yeah, Alien and Aliens are classics. Alien and Aliens are classics. I mean, I personally like Aliens better than Alien. I know I'm one of those. It's probably because I saw Aliens first because I was older. I didn't ever see Alien in the theater. I was older when Aliens came out, so I actually saw that in the theater. Well, that's the thing though. Sarah Connor didn't start as a badass. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Golden Shadow. She had developed into it. She evolved into it. She became a character. She had what we used to call in stories a character arc, where they start at one point, they end up at another. That's what I think one of the reasons I love Babylon 5 so much, is the character arcs in Babylon 5 are... The character arcs that Jakar and Londo take in Babylon 5 from Season 1, Episode 1 to Season 5, Episode last, whatever it is. The arcs they go on, not only do they go on these arcs that cross, but then they end up where the other person began at the end. It's so it blew my freaking mind. It's so well written and well thought out. Ripley is a male, I'm out. Yeah, Ripley is a male, I'm out. Vasquez, anybody ever mistake you for a guy? No, has anybody ever mistake you for a guy? That's like one of the best. I don't know if that's the exact quote, but that's one of the lines from Aliens that just like has always stuck with me. It's like, you know, he's sitting there ribbing the gal who's really buff, like a big buff gal, about being mistaken for a guy, and she shoots right back. No, have you ever been mistaken for a guy? Winona Earp is awesome. I've watched 2.5 seasons of Winona Earp. She is great. She is great. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like her transformation. I mean, the opening scene, Golden Shadow, in you know, the first time we see Sarah Connor. Like Sarah Connor, same thing. She didn't start out as a badass. You know, and Ripley didn't really start out as a badass either. You know, she turned into one. And it was a lot of motherly instinct, I think, that made her take that role on. But Sarah Connor, the first time I think we see her in Terminator 2, she's like in the crazy joint, you know, she's in the nut house, and she's like badass, and she's doing pull-ups. I'm going, God damn, she's more ripped than I am. God, I gotta go work out now a little bit. She's making me feel a little weak. But I actually liked the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Say that 15 times fast. I really enjoyed the Sarah Connor Chronicles. It was actually pretty good. Pretty well done. They did a good job with it. That's what she says. Ooh. Injecting bleach into syringe, badass. Yeah. I was kind of angry they canceled it too. It just didn't get the ratings they wanted. That's the thing that you know, TV is all about the ratings, or it used to be all about the ratings. Now if shows get no ratings, they don't care. Look at Batwoman. Look at the travesty of a show that's become Batwoman. It gets like less than, you know, 400,000 people watching it, and they still keep it on the air. That would have been canceled. Those are rookie numbers for a show like Sarah Connor Chronicles, or Firefly. Those are rookie numbers for them. and it stays on the air anyway. But the actress that plays Sarah Connor is actually a twin, and they share that role of Sarah Connor. Oh, that's cool. Well, yeah, Ruby Rose didn't want to come back for season 2. There's a guy on YouTube that I watch that regularly makes fun of the Batgirl show, and he's pretty hilarious. He basically watches it just to make fun of it, and it's pretty bad. The logic and the stuff in it is pretty bad. Blackman PL, how's it going, buddy? How's it going, my friend?
No power in the verse can stop me.
Positive teammate. Well, we're being a positive teammate right now because we're talking not about things we hate. We're talking about shows that we love. Shows that we love. But I agree totally with you, Bad Gal. Alien, as far as movies go, Aliens is one of my favorite. Alien and Aliens, along with Terminator and Terminator 2, are right up there. Right up there. Sarah Chronic Chronicles. No, it's not the Sarah Chronic Chronicle. Oh, I can't even say it. Good Lord. I can't even say it. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it long enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Let that sink in for a minute. Just let that sink in for a minute. No, I'm not going to read it again. Because it's a Supercalifragilistic Sarah Connor's Chronicles. Expialidocious Sarah Connor Chronicles. It does not work that way. I did for a while. I was in the theater. Positive teammate, which I know you probably find completely ridiculously, absolutely impossible to believe. I was in theater for a little while. I actually was in musical theater for a little while. I don't sing that well, though. I don't sing that well. I have a very limited range, very limited voice range, and I don't sing very well. So, and my vocal person would always be like, "You're trying to sing at a higher octave than you should be singing, sir." And I always be like, "But I like singing up here. I like singing up here." But I can't do that. My falsetto is not good. Interstellar is my personal favorite movie. I loved Interstellar. My only criticism of Interstellar, and they did it on purpose, is they made the music so damn loud. I want to hear what people are saying when they're talking on screen. Predator's awesome. Predator was an awesome freaking movie. Never see a movie like that again. Never see a movie like Predator again. I mean, think of when they went to pitch Predator. Okay, studio, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get Arnold Schwarzenegger. We're gonna get Carl Weathers. They're gonna be big, buff. We're gonna get Jesse Ventura too. He's gonna be big and buff. The studio's like, all right, sounds like a great movie. Sounds good. You got a good starting cast. You got Carl Weathers. You got Arnold Schwarzenegger. You got Jesse the Body Ventura. You got 3 or 4 other like big, buff dudes. They're gonna go into the jungle. They're going into the jungle on a covert op mission. All right, the studio's going, all right, sounds good. What's the hook now? What's the hook? Do they got to fight mercenaries? Do they got to fight a cartel? What are they going on? What are they doing? All of a sudden, lasers start firing out of the jungle at them. Guys are getting cut in half. Carl Weathers goes down. Jesse the Body Ventura goes down. There's like this invisible thing that's killing him, and now the studio's going, okay. I kind of. Okay, so what's attacking him? It's a dude with a face that comes apart, and you never see him though. You never see him until the very end of the movie. The very end of the movie, and then that's all that's left is Arnold Schwarzenegger fighting hand to hand with an alien. Could you imagine a studio taking that pitch today? They'd be like, get the heck out of here. But back then the studio was like, okay, sounds pretty cool. I think we could pull that off. I think we could do that. Predator came out in, let's see. Hey Siri, when was Predator released?
Which one? Here are some options.
1987.
Predator at large.
Hey Siri. Hey Siri. When was Terminator released?
Which one? I found 9. Terminator.
So 84 for Terminator. Terminator 2
Terminator 2 Judgment
was
Day
1991. So it was a little before he was a household name. He was more doing B movies other than Terminator. You know, Event Horizon scared the bejesus out of me. The dude with that stuff in his face, like all the wires in. Oh God, that's like Event Horizon is the stuff of my nightmares. It was a good movie though, but it was a stuff of my nightmares. Yeah, showed that movie to my wife recently. Response was because they find more 80s muscles. Exactly. Can we find more 80s muscles? I did like Contact with Jodie Foster. Oh, Contact was well done. You own Event Horizon on Blue Horizon. Arnold is safe to put in any movies. 28 Days Later was pretty cool. 28 Weeks Later was kind of But 28 Days Later, Event Horizon, I thought Event Horizon was great. I saw it in the theater, and like I said, it scared the crap out of me. What's his name? Is it Sam? Who was the guy who played the dude who got taken over and was all crazy? It's like Sam something or another. I can never remember his name. I know it if I've seen it. I want to say Sam Donaldson, but that's not it. He's been in a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, but Contact was awesome. Contact was really awesome. Sci-Fi, Contact made me weep last time I watched it, and that's when I was in astronomy class. Oh, Sam Neill. Thank you, Sam Neill. Sam Neill's an underrated actor. Majorly underrated actor, Sam Neill. Sam Neill, Gary Sinise, Rutger Hauer. But yeah, Sam Neill's very underrated actor. Good actor. He was good in that movie. But man, that movie scared the pants off me, man. I did not like the way that movie made me feel. That movie touched me in ways I did not want to be touched, okay? That movie was just, He was also, original Jurassic Park, yeah. He was in the original Jurassic Park. The good Jurassic Park back in the day. Event Horizon, checkmate. Event Horizon scared the bejesus out of me. I don't deal well with horror stuff. It haunts my night. It literally haunts my nightmares. And you know I don't use the L word very often, but it haunts my nightmares, and it makes it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It scared the bejesus out of me. What we love best shows our age. I know. Rutger Hauer is awesome. Rutger Hauer was amazing. He was amazing in Blade Runner. He was amazing in Lady Hawk. He was in a bunch of other movies, but those are the main two I remember him from. You know what I dug from memory? Critters! Oh, Critters. Remember when Gremlins became like the big movie, and then they came out with 1,000 movies that were kind of like it. I don't like zombies, so I never watched any zombie movies or shows. I went through a phase where I liked zombies, but not so much anymore. Christopher Lambert from Highlander. Oh, that's a funny accent you have there, Nash. Where are you from? Lots of different places. The way he just says lots of different places, I just love. But Hadrian, thank you for the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Again, probably Mary Poppins is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Mary Poppins. That's it. That is a great movie with great acting, great music, great stuff all around. Great stuff all around. Didn't that have what's his name? God, I can never remember the actors. I'm horrible. My memory has become like a sieve, boys and girls. I remember certain things, but I don't remember other things. Who was the actor in that? The chimney sweep dude. The chimney sweep guy. God, I can't remember his name. Dick Van Dyke. That's it, Dick Van Dyke. Thank you. I like the Highlanders TV show too. The Highlander TV show actually did a good job. It sold me on the Highlander idea. Don't laugh, but Life is Beautiful with Robert Benigno is one of my favorite movies. Hey, you know, we have a lot of Tetsu. There are a lot of movies. There are a lot of movies that we love that are, you know, I mean, I love one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time is White Christmas. I mean, you don't get much better than White Christmas, baby. You just don't. I love the singing in it. I love his voice. I love the two gals' voices. I love the ridiculousness of it. White Christmas is like one of my favorite movies of all time as far as Christmas movie goes. And it's wonderful. It's a wonderful movie. It's a good feel-good movie. Yeah, Dick Van Dyke was awesome. Dickie was awesome. Yeah, Dick Van Dyke. Jingle All the Way with Schwarzenegger. Gladiator. Oh. Gladiator's so good. Gladiator's such a great movie. That's when what's his name was at the height of his power. Russell Crowe. That's when Russell Crowe was at like the height of being Russell Crowe. Yeah, man, Gladiator's such a great movie. So good. Gladiator's one of my favorite movies of all time. And the narrator said, and absolutely no one was surprised. No one was surprised. Have I seen Jingle All the Way with Arnold? I have not seen that one, no. I have not seen Jingle All the Way with Arnold. Read it again, not one of. Gladiator is my favorite movie of all time. Oh, well, yeah, I was just interpolating what you said. Don't hate me because I interpolate. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful, Hadrian. Just don't hate me. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful, man. Let me have my interpolation of what you say. Beautiful Mind was really good. You know one that I like too is Mr. Holland's Opus. Mr. Holland's Opus was actually filmed locally. Mr. Holland's Opus was actually filmed here in Portland, Oregon.
I might have to drop some gear.
Which a lot of people don't know. Mr. Holland's Opus was a great movie, though. Beautiful Mind was really good, too. I think I will make one more arrow for myself. How many feathers do I have right now? Do I have feathers? Do I have Mr. Feathers? I do. So it is your favorite movie of all time. Like the favorite, without a doubt. If you could only watch one movie for the rest of your life, that would be it. I love Die Hard too. Die Hard's my second favorite classic Christmas movie. And it is a Christmas movie. I don't care what anybody says. It's my own opinion. It can be whatever I want. It is my Christmas movie. But Gladiator is great. Gladiator is great. So I'm with Hadrian on this. It's number one. Thought about it a few years ago because there have been lots of movies I love. Gladiator is the one. If I had to take a movie, and I count this all as one movie. If I had to take a movie, and I count this all as one movie, I'm going to say that again. And I could only watch it for the rest of my life, and it'd be the only one. I would watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And I'm sorry, Star Wars. It's true. I would watch Lord of the Rings. Over the Top. Over the Top was filmed here as well. Yo, Adrian, I'm going over the top. We're going over the top, Adrian. But yeah, I'd probably choose the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And if I had to choose one of them, oh, that's like picking my children. It's like picking my children. Oh, Braveheart was great. Braveheart was horribly inaccurate historically, but it was a great movie. Great movie. Lord of the Rings. Oh, Lord of the Rings is beautiful. Lord of the Rings is beautiful. The extended, yeah, not the regular, the extended trilogy edition. Can I, Fire Monkey, can I also include in all the bonus material? Because I love watching the 15 hours of bonus material and as well. Lord of the Rings is like one of my favorite movies of all time. Especially in the sci-fi fantasy genre. In the fantasy genre, Lord of the Rings probably is my top movie, followed closely by Highlander. It was long-winded. Yeah, it was long-winded, but yeah, if I had to pick one, it would be Two Towers. If I had to pick one, it would be the Two Towers, most likely. Although, God, I can't get over the first movie where where Arwen is riding with Sam, or riding with Frodo, and the ring wraiths are like arrayed behind her, and the music builds. She comes to the river, and the river sweeps them away. Oh, I can't. And when Gandalf is with the Balrog, like you shall not pass. And the Council of Elrond, where Frodo first is starting to hear the ring, and the ring's telling him to do things. And you can see his pain, and Elijah, being so young, is emoting so well. Two Towers was pretty damn awesome, though. Two Towers was great. All the Rohirrim stuff. The favorite thing about the first movie is Liv Tyler talking about how much she fell in love with the Elvish language Tolkien made. I know. See, that's the thing a lot, and that's the thing, too. Yeah, she is adorable, Hadrian, she is. Gimli, never trust an elf. She is adorable, but that's the thing, too, is that what a lot of people don't realize is that Lord of the Rings is not just... It's not just a story. Tolkien was very dismayed in his time that the English people did not really have a mythology of their own. Like folk tales, all the tales and the mythologies and all that sort of stuff was pretty much imported by other countries that came and conquered England over and over and over and over and over and over again. England, you got conquered a lot before you became great. But he wanted to make a mythology for his homeland. He wanted to make a mythology for what he wanted, and so he created it, and because he didn't find it out there in any way, shape, or form. So he created it. And not only did he create the mythology, he created the languages, he created the races, the languages, the mannerisms, the histories, full-blown thousands upon thousands of years of history for them. We aren't just talking like, a little bit of history. We're talking like major history for all of the world. And I think that's just beautiful. Yeah, an entire world of history and culture. Not like, oh, this character's this. Which just makes me very afraid with Amazon coming out with Lord of the Rings. Ugh. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I'm waiting to see what they do. I'm waiting to see what they do with it. It scares me a little bit though. Just be scared of your beloved properties being remade in this time and age. All I gotta say. All I gotta say. But yeah, Lord of the Rings is probably one of my favorites. I love, and the funny thing is, I love Lord of the Rings, and I wasn't a big fan of what they did in The Hobbit. I just wasn't. Lord of the Rings, you played Shadows and Mordor games where you have to fight the unique orcs. Oh, that's cool. Without Lord of the Rings, there'd be no high fantasy. There'd be no D&D. Yeah, there wouldn't. And I know some people take offense to that and go, oh, that stuff would have come around anyway. Probably not. There would have been some dabbling in it, but Lord of the Rings kind of broke the mold on a lot of stuff. Lord of the Rings introduced concepts and ideas that really would have, like, they were around. There was ideas of, in folklore, but Lord of the Rings kind of brought it out a lot. And yes, it probably would have come along at some point or another, but it wouldn't look the same as it does now. I think Tolkien fleshed out for a lot of people stuff that had been kind of floating around. I mean, throughout the centuries, there were always stories of goblins and little creatures that would come and take your children in the middle of the night and stuff like that. But Tolkien really fleshed out a lot of some of the lore that went along with certain things. And he was a pioneer before his own time. I mean, yeah, 500 years from now, Lord of the Rings will still be important. Amazon is making a Lord of the Rings show set supposedly in the Second Age, when hobbits didn't even exist, but we're supposed to have hobbits in it. The problem with Lord of the Rings, and here's the biggest problem I have. I was excited for the show for a little bit. I was like, okay, maybe they can go back and do some cool stuff. They had the Tolkien Scholar on board, which always makes me feel good because the Tolkien Scholar will keep it true to what Tolkien intended, because they know the material backwards, forwards, left, right. They know the history. They know the interactions that characters have. They know the interactions that everything else has. And they don't have the Tolkien Scholar working for them any longer. I don't know if he died or if he went away on his own accord or because they fired him. But either way, the Tolkien Scholar is no longer there. It makes me worried about the Second Age. It makes me worried. They launched him into space. I hope not. Wow, that guy did not want to come down the road. That dude was like, no, I'm not coming down the road at you. Doesn't Claudia Black have a character in Shadow of Mordor? I think she might. I never played Shadow of Mordor. That's why The Mandalorian was good. Dave Filoni in Star Wars was the scholar they were missing from the sequel trilogy. See, I really enjoyed Mandalorian. To be honest, I enjoyed Season 1 more than Season 2. Because Season 2 was more to me. Season 2 was about key jangling for their next new projects coming up. Oh, you like seeing Ahsoka Tano in this one? Guess what? We're going to make an Ahsoka Tano series. Oh, you like seeing the Mandalorian people in this one? Oh, we're going to make a Mandalorian type show. Oh, you like seeing Boba Fett in this one? Guess what? We're going to make a Boba Fett show. I like the first season because it seemed more about it than about just jangling keys and making me excited for next product. And it seemed like Season 2 to me for Mandalorian basically was a lot of key jangling and trying to jam in everything they could to promote the next stuff that they wanted to come out, with no intention of making Mandalorian Season 3. I mean, could you imagine if that, like, Season 2... And that's why I think Season 2 wrapped up with him handing over the baby to Luke. It's because they have no intention of making Season 3. And I don't even know if they could at this point. It makes me kind of sad, because Season 1 started to renew my hope in Star Wars a little bit. And I won't lie. I watched Season 1 with a lot of trepidation coming off the trilogy. I watched it with a lot of trepidation, and I was like, you know, this is pretty cool. I like that they got IG-88 in it. I like that they brought the Ugnut back and had him in it. I like what they're doing. I think it's got some good places to go. And then Season 2 just kind of went, yeah, he's got places to go, but they all involve people who are way more important than him. And it's funny, in a gigantic universe, the Mandalorian happens to run into Bo-Katan, Ahsoka Tano, Boba Fett. He runs into basically everybody that's important in the entire universe. It's like, really? Really? You couldn't have done that? And Luke Skywalker. Yeah, you couldn't have done that over like 5 seasons. If they'd done it over 5 seasons, I could have almost believed it. But doing it episode after episode after episode just got to be kind of like, oh my god, seriously? Could we just have an episode where we aren't having a cameo fest? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like a cameo as much as another guy, but the main reason I was watching Mandalorian was for the Mandalorian, because he was a badass character, and I loved seeing what he was going to do next. I loved seeing his interaction. For me, the first season was great because of the interaction between him and the baby Yoda, which it'll never be Grogu, whatever stupid name they gave him. Whatever stupid name they gave him. When they asked him his name, he should have said, "I'm Baby Yoda, biatch. I'm 50-year-old Baby Yoda. Get used to it." Because that's what he is. He'll always be Baby Yoda to me. I mean, they had the world in the palm of their hands. They had my best friend, and she is the most normie of normies. She could give two wits. She has never seen, I believe, has seen Star Wars, Empire, and Return of the Jedi once each. Will never watch them again. Doesn't care about the Star Wars universe at all. And she liked Mandalorian Season 1, and she loved Baby Yoda. Isn't that what you want? Is you want to get new people in? You want to get new people in? Grogu. No! Gods, no! He's not Grogu, he's Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda. And she watched the second season, and she was like, they named him Grogu. She's like, no, he's Baby Yoda. She's like, no. She refused. She's a normie, and she refused. She's like, no, he's Baby Yoda. There's no such character as Grogu. There's no such character as Grogu. He's Baby Yoda. Just deal with it. Just deal with it. So, boys and girls, what we're doing during all this TED Talk that I've been going on for the last hour. Yeah, I know somebody's going to comment on YouTube. Why did you talk about all this crap for so long? Knock it off. I know. Who doesn't like Baby Yoda? I like Baby Yoda. I thought Baby Yoda was cute. I thought it was a cute idea. But the main thing I've been doing, the main reason I've been talking like this is we aren't really doing anything right now. The main thing we're doing is we're transporting all of our stuff back to the farmhouse. We looted up Milton. We're transporting our stuff back to the farmhouse because we're going to be going, I know, you guys are going to be shocked, we're going to go to Broken Railroad. Broken Railroad is our next goal in mind. That's where I want to go. That's what I'm wanting to do and get done, is go to Broken Railroad, because my long-term goal in this game is to collect every stem in the game without using it. That's my goal. I want to collect every stem in the game, and I don't want to ever use any of them. I want to see how many I can get. Goo Goo Gaga? I know, he should have been Goo Goo Gaga. But Baby Yoda was beloved by everybody. But you've never seen The Mandalorian, Tyler? I would recommend watching it. It's a good watch. It gets... There's some parts of it that are a little slow, but there's other episodes that are really good. So I would recommend watching it. I think it's pretty good. I think overall, I give it a good solid 7 out of 10. I went down to a 6 out of 10 when I was a little pissed about how the season 2 was going, but I give it a good solid 7 out of 10. Maybe a 7.5. I know Mark Wars gives it like a 9.5 out of 10. So you can trust Mark Wars and I that it's good. I did the one from HRV. There isn't one in HRV. Hush River Valley doesn't have a stem, unfortunately. Unless it's there and I've never found it, which could very well be. Where is the stem in Hush River Valley on Interloper? After seeing Han Solo die, that killed it for me. Oh yeah, to go out like a punk, like Han Solo went out. If Han Solo had gone out flying the Millennium Falcon in a heroic move to save somebody, to save Leia or something, I would have been totally down with him killing Han Solo at that point. To have him go out like a punk,
Something's gotta go.
On his son's lightsaber and then going, "Oh son, I understand why you did what you did. You have to learn to forgive yourself." You know, whatever BS he's spouting now, it's like, that's not Han Solo. That's not Han Solo. It's not him. That's not him. To go out like that was it. Well, but see, that's what they want us to do. That's what Disney's all about now. We take character you like, we insert character you don't like, but we want you to like them, so we then make that character you like, validate character you don't like, tell them they're amazing, they're wonderful. I bypassed the ba-ba-da-ba-ba. So I know how to fly the Millennium Falcon better than you. And you've owned the Millennium Falcon for a bazillion years, but I can do it better than you. And so we make make character you don't like, get validated by character you do like, then kill off character you do like in a bad way, make the character you don't like seem to have some sort of connection to them, which they really don't, because they've known them all for 5 minutes. To make them more likable, then keep telling you that said new character is amazing, wonderful, awesome, and the best thing since sliced frickin' bread. That's their formula. Meanwhile, we'll take characters you like, and we make them less than they are. We make Han Solo a young roguelike character who seems at the end of Star Wars and Return of the Jedi to be becoming this character who realizes there's something bigger than himself. We take him back to being a selfish, self-centered character in the Force Awakens. So what happened in all those years? We don't know. None of it's canon. I know what happened to him in those years, but none of it's canon, so it doesn't matter anymore. So we just make him a selfish character again, who's only for himself, who leaves Leia, disavows himself of Luke, and becomes a bad father and a smuggler again for some reason. And not a very good one at that. Huh? Huh? Yeah. And there's ways to pass torches from old characters to new characters. There's ways to do it. You have to have people who can write their way out of wet paper sack. Well, the movies also were very poorly conceived under Kathleen Kennedy's direction. Kathleen Kennedy is not who you want heading up Star Wars. Especially when they come out and say, well, what are we supposed to do? We don't have any source material for any of the stuff. We're having to come up with all this stuff on out of our own heads because there's no source material out there. A wink, wink. There's no source material out there. Yeah, Kylo Ren was semi-interesting character when he was in a helmet. Once he took the helmet off, I'm sorry, ladies who like Adam Driver out there.
Can't feel my feet.
But he looks like a whiny emo kid who had his toys taken away. And he acts like it as well. He looks like that whiny little kid who had his toys taken away, and he acts like it too with his little temper tantrums and stuff. That's the thing. I mean, it's just and it's not Adam Driver's fault. I've seen Adam Driver in other stuff, and Adam Driver is a very handsome, attractive guy. Just the way they wrote him and the way they made him up in that movie was just horrible. If I was Adam Driver, I would be so embarrassed by being in the Star Wars movie because the character was just poorly conceived, poorly done, poorly written, poorly. And honestly, it was kind of poorly acted too. But I'm sure he was being directed to act it that way, and it's just kind of sad. Kind of sad because I've seen Adam Driver and other stuff, and he is a very, very handsome guy. I mean, a lot of ladies love him. He's a very handsome guy. Well, I've seen him all dressed up and stuff. People can clean up very nice. People can clean up very nice. Yeah, I was shocked. Yeah, it's Han Solo and Princess Leia's son. It's like, what, did he get all the ugly genes? I mean, did he get not the handsome, like, roguish genes from Han Solo and Carrie Fisher? Come on, Carrie Fisher, baby. When you were as young me, when I was growing up, I would just like to fist bump young me because Carrie Fisher was a hottie, and I loved Carrie Fisher. Thank you. Love Carrie Fisher.
Silver Skunk cheered X95.
Thank you for the X95 there, baby. But yeah, Adam Driver just played a horrible character, and I don't blame Adam Driver. A lot of people get online. I hate it when people get online and bash the actor playing the character. Like the guy who played Jar Jar Binks in the prequels. I don't like Jar Jar Binks as a character, but I'm smart enough, at least I hope I am, I'm smart enough to separate that the guy who plays the character is not the character. He's doing a job. He's a guy who got hired to do a job. Just like the gal who played Rose Tico that everybody hated. She was just a gal who got hired to do a job. She just got hired to play a role. I mean, you can hate the Rose Tico character all you want, but people sending her death threats and stuff, I was like, are you kidding me? And to me, that just speaks of low intelligence when people send death threats to an actor for playing a character. I mean, that just seems like, that seems stupid. Because it's like, that actor's just a person. They're just doing a job. They're just getting hired to play a character and do stuff. So why should you hate on them? I mean, if somebody came and offered me if somebody came and offered me $200,000 to play in the next Star Wars movie as Jar Jar Binks, I'd do it. I think anybody would probably do it. They'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to receive a lot of hate, but man, $200,000 can buy you a lot of happiness too. For 4 months work or whatever. I mean, come on. Those guys are just actors. They're just getting paid to do a job. This is my audition. Meet like a lot of cars. Meet see the wolves up front here, not very nice, eh? You just gotta say Micha. Micha like this. Don't like it that very much, no. There's my Micha killed these wolves with big old arrows, see? Yeah, Jar Jar was a pretty horrible character. I don't even like him in the Clone Wars animated show. It's like, oh god, it's Jar Jar again. Please stop this. Please stop the madness. Adrian, I know it's T-minus 5 minutes. By the way, boys and girls, in a very short amount of time, we'll be out of this hell. This frozen hell. Hadrian is going to be joining me for a little bit of State of Decay 2. I'm very blessed and thankful that I'll be joined by such a powerhouse in both voice, sound, and sexuality. It's Hadrian. Adrian's like, oh god, stop it already. But I'm very happy. I'm very pleased that he'll be joining me. So, Jar Jar Binks was at first a funny character. He was at first a funny character, and honestly, Millers, I think that they could have done him justice in small doses instead of making a whole story like kind of involve him. And making him such a comedic pratfall. It was the beginning of the end for them because they started injecting. You notice how in Star Wars, the original Star Wars, yes, there were jokes in it. There was a lot of dry humor. There was some witty comments about get this fur rug out of my way. Han Solo's very derogatory talking to Princess Leia and like deferring to her, like overdoing it. But in the prequels, they took it from being sarcastic kind of humor that most of us can relate with. They almost went back to like pratfall type humor, which is funny and had its time, but that's not what people go to see a Star Wars movie. Oh, that's okay, Wow Dane. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You'll play some Odyssey. Is that Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Is it AC Odyssey? I hope. And so that's the thing. Is like when they went to the pratfall comedy, it kind of lost a little bit of its oomph. AC, nice. It lost it just wasn't Star Wars as much anymore. It's again, it goes back to the thing I was talking about where companies, especially like Disney right now, feel the need to not make things too serious. That too serious is bad. And so if there's a serious beat, we need a funny beat to follow it. Or we need a serious beat, maybe something else and a funny beat. Oh my goodness, Sorrow Schism! Gifting out 3 subs in the community. Sturgle, Mindgrames, Photonium.
Sorrow
welcome to
Schism
the Ath
just
Pack.
gifted 3 subs.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the 3 gifted subs and welcome to the Ath Pack, all 3 of you. Let's add some points in. Yeah, we need it to be good for all ages, which loses all greatness. Yeah. When you want, like I said before, you want to see a great superhero show, superhero genre thing, go watch the first 2 seasons of Daredevil. Best hero, best villain, best sidekicks, best acting, best action, gritty, dirty, believable, grounded. It's amazing. And they'll never do it again. I was excited to see Matt Murdock in Spider-Man No Way Home, but it will never be like that again. It just won't. Yeah, it's more Hollywood style. It's more Hollywood. It was, and for all the hate the prequels get, and for me not liking the prequels a lot, honestly, the prequels are better than anything they put out since. It gave me new appreciation, and there's a lot of stuff that spun out of the prequels that and really you could argue that the Clone Wars animated series saved the prequels. You could argue that. Because it fleshed out a lot of stuff and made a lot of stuff a lot more accessible and a lot better than it was in the prequels. Now, could you imagine if they had live actioned all the story plots they had going on in Clone Wars and that had been the prequels? Imagine that. Imagine there's no prequels. No Rey or Kylo Ren either. Imagine if they'd done that. That would have been cool. That would have been really cool. I would have been psyched for that. Psyched! Make sure he sees this after finishing his point. Thanks. Gonna run to the restroom, get caffeinated beverage, then I'll be good to go. Well, I'm gonna do the same thing. You have a great one. All right, well, Dane, have a great day yourself. We're actually going to get back. We're going to get into State of Decay 2 here. I do need to jump into my Discord, though, real quick. And Mark Wars will have to do like a 5-minute sound check. We need to do at least maybe 15-minute sound check. It might be a 15-minute sound check. Is that okay with you, Mark Wars, if we do a 15-minute sound check? First, I need to... change my stream title. There we go. Boom. There we are. Get out the State of Decay 2. Red Hadrian's message to you. You did your job. Oh, well, there you go. Imagine they actually kept the apparent power level of the Force consistent between the prequels and the cartoon. Oh, yeah. That's the thing, too, is that as time has moved on, Nighthawk,